Coming to you live from a chilly and windy LRA Field on the campus of UNC Pembroke. It's time for UNCP softball as the Braves host the Pirates of Armstrong State, the number 17 team in Division II softball. And this should be a good one. With my broadcast partner Mike Young, I'm Cameron Songer. Thanks for joining us. Let's start with the starting lineups for the Pirates, who come in at 29-9 overall, 13-3 in the Peach Belt Conference. They're the second ranked tier. They're second in the conference standings right now, and their starting lineup looks like this. Senior second baseman Peyton Roth will lead off, followed by senior third baseman Michelle Breen, then junior first baseman Hannah Reppert. In the cleanup spot is freshman catcher number 8, Logan Harrell. Batting fifth is freshman shortstop number 15, Macy Coleman. Then Jane Traska, Ashley Sterrett, Autumn Parrish, and rounding out the starting batting order for Armstrong State is left fielder Sierra Newman. Starting pitcher for Armstrong State today is the right-hander, number 2, Tori Bates. We'll tell you more about her when she takes the circle to warm up in the bottom of the first inning. The Braves come in 24-21-1 overall. The Braves are hot right now. They've won 6 straight and 7 of 8 so far this week in a busy week at LRA Field. This is their 5th doubleheader in 7 days, and by far the toughest test for this UNCP team. Currently 4th in the Peach Belt Conference standings, and this is going to be a tall order against the for UNCP against Armstrong State. Here is the starting lineup for the Braves. Third baseman Jamie Johnson will lead off. Then Whitney Jackson, the senior, will play center field today. Junior right fielder number 7, Abby Walters, will bat third. Then freshman first baseman number 22, Savannah Melvin. Catcher, sophomore number 9, Tony Nelson. Shortstop Taylor Gerhart is number 6. She also wears jersey number 6 and bats 6th. Bailey Jones, the designated player, bats 7th. Sophomore left fielder number 10, Lexi Cox, will be in the 8th spot. And then batting 9th for the Braves, senior number 11, second baseman Morgan Davis. In the circle for the Braves today for game 1 will be senior number 15, Katie Saunders. Head coach of the Braves is Brittany Bennett. She's in her 3rd season. Head coach of the Pirates, by the way, is Ted Evans. He's in his 12th season. Time for the national anthem here at LRA Field, so we'll step aside briefly. When we come back, first pitch. This is UNCP Braves softball. With the playing of our national anthem. Almost game time here at LRA Field. UNCP softball hosting the Pirates from Armstrong State. These are 2 of the 3 hottest teams in the Peach Belt Conference. The Braves have won 8 of their last 10. Pirates have won 9 of their last 10. And something's got to give here, Mike. The Braves have played some very exciting games in the past week. They swept Wingate, a regional rival, on Wednesday. That came off a sweep of Augusta on Monday. That was a Peach Belt Conference doubleheader. Both games on Wednesday came on walk-off wins for the Braves, and then yesterday winning both against that was a pair of wins for the Braves against Flagler, and the second one came on a walk-off grand slam by Taylor Gerhart.
Absolutely, Cameron.
The Braves have played it with a lot of emotion in the past week.
Yes, let's see if they can bring the momentum from yesterday into this ballgame.
Starting pitcher for the Braves is Katie Saunders. The right-hander is making her 23rd start of the year and 28th overall appearance. She has 13 wins and 11 losses and a 3.14 ERA. That's Pie. Opponent's hitting .267 against her. She struck out 73 and walked 53. Temperature at first pitch about 60 degrees. Wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour in Pembroke, North Carolina today. It's cold and windy. Yesterday we saw the wind blowing out, helping some of those fly balls. Today it's swirling, and sometimes it'll help and sometimes it won't. It's been consistently windy at about 20 miles per hour, gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Peyton Roth leads off for the Pirates. First pitch misses high as it comes in at 3:57 p.m. Roth, a .336 hitter. There's the first strike of the ball game. Roth with 41 hits and 122 at-bats. Does have 2 home runs. She swings, fouls this one off to the left side out of play. One ball, 2 strikes to Peyton Roth as we're getting just underway here in Pembroke, North Carolina. Pitch. Misses low and away. Two. One outside. Well, Roth has drawn just 9 walks so far this year. Not notable for her ability to get on base via the walk, but she is the team leader in stolen bases with 10. Payoff pitch from Saunders. Swung on, fouled off out of play to the left side.
Great job by Peyton Roth just to hang in there and see if she can get a good hit.
Here's Saunders' 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left field. Cox comes charging in and makes the catch for the first out of today's doubleheader. See Cox showing off the range in left field. I think we'll have to keep an eye on his fly balls hit to the outfield today. Not going to be as routine as normal because of the strong wind gusts. Battling the elements today. Michelle Breen at the plate. She swings at the first pitch. It's on the ground to third. Johnson throw over to first is in the dirt, but picked out by Melvin. There's 2 away. Saw a lot of that yesterday. Katie Saunders getting 1 pitch out as Flagler was swinging away early and often. This Armstrong team will be a little bit more patient at the plate. They only force UNCP's pitchers to work a little harder in the circle. Here's Hannah Reppert. Team leader in batting average at .410. Also 13 home runs, one of the top marks in the conference. Also leads the Pirates with 37 runs batted in. The 1-0 is in the dirt. It'd be hard to blame Saunders for pitching around her, especially with the bases empty and 2 outs. The 2-0 to Reppert. Misses away. Trickles all the way to the backstop after Nelson wasn't able to stick a fork in it. Pitching around Reppert, something a lot of other teams have done. She's drawn 27 walks this year, and Katie Saunders not giving her anything remotely close to pitch to hit. 4-pitch walk for the number 3 hitter in the Armstrong batting order. Hannah Reppert is on first with 2 away.
Catcher number 8, Logan Harrell.
On comes Logan Harrell, the freshman catcher, and a .372 hitter. Takes that one low and away. Harrell started every game this year for Armstrong.
She's only a freshman, but yet she's second on the team in hits.
Takes that one at the knees, evens up the count 1-1. Reppert, not a base-stealing threat, hasn't attempted a stolen base yet this year. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Saunders took something off that. Harrell wasn't able to connect. 1 and 2, 2 outs. Runner on first in the top of the first. And here's the pitch. Swung on, hit out to the right side, out of play, and into the parking lot. Took a bounce, then landed on the roof of someone's car.
It seems all right. No damage is done.
The 1-2. Misses high. Check down to second, or no, throw down to second as Reppert able to scoot on over to second base. No appeal to the umpire in the infield, as it was Harrell being able to hold up on that swing. Now 2-2, 2 outs with a runner on second. And the pitch. Well, that came in and hit her. Nope, but it hit her bad, so it's a foul ball. E. Saunders dodged a bullet there. That pitch probably should have been a free base. And there's strike 3 looking as Harrell goes down, and the Pirates are retired in the top of the first. Braves coming up to bat for the first time in the bottom of the first inning. When we come back, no score.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Warming up in the circle for Armstrong State is their right-handed pitcher, junior number 2, Tori Bates. She boasts a stellar 1.42 ERA, 11 wins and 5 losses, as she begins her 19th start of the year and 20th total appearance. She does have 12 complete games, 113 and a third innings pitched. Opponents hitting just .226 against her, and she struck out 68 and walked 22. The Braves will have their work cut out for them if they want to try to get some hits against one of the better pitchers in conference. Leading off for the Braves will be Jamie Johnson. She'll be followed by Whitney Jackson and Abby Walters in the bottom of the first inning. No score yet in this one. Doubleheader in the Peach Belt Conference between the number 17 Armstrong State Pirates and your UNCP Braves.
Leading off for the Braves, third baseman, number
Jamie Johnson steps in. The sophomore is hitting .365 this year. 28 runs batted in, also 5 home runs, 15 doubles among her 57 hits. And a key contributor for the Braves, especially when she gets onto the base paths. She's tied for the team lead with 24 stolen bases and 26 tries. Good numbers all across the board for Jamie Johnson. She's also a good defensive third baseman as well, as we saw her make a nice play last half inning. Takes high and away on the pitch from Bates. Now it's 2-0.
Let's see here if the pitcher for Armstrong State's gonna be aggressive on this one, looking at a down in the count.
Half swing there from Johnson as it goes foul. Nearly snuck that past Breen over at third base. As we reset the Armstrong State defensive lineup, Newman, Sterrett, and Traska in the outfield from left to right. Breen at third, Coleman at short, Roth at second, Reppert at first, Harrell behind the plate, and Bates in the circle. 2-1 offering, hit back up the middle. Bates flashes the leather, throws over to first, and there's one away.
Beautiful play by the pitcher just to get that one in there and make a beautiful play to first base.
Tori Bates fields her position well, gets the first out under her belt, and with 1 out and nobody on base, here's Whitney Jackson. Senior, a .336 hitter for the Braves this year. 48 hits, 6 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs. The pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1. Swung on, hit on a line, but foul into the left field corner. That's probably more what Torrey Bates is used to working with, being ahead in the count. One of the conference's best pitchers. Starting game one for one of the conference's best teams. This one hit up the middle. A diving attempt at second by Roth, but it's through into center field, and we have our first base hit of the day. It belongs to UNCP's Whitney Jackson.
Either way, that would have been a tough play by that second baseman to make that.
Roth getting some dirt on her black uniform. Not able to come with that ball on the dive, and Abby Walters will come to the plate for UNCP. Junior outfielder will also pitch sometimes for the Braves. A .411 hitter. She's the team's leader in that category. Strike one called at the knees on the outside corner. Abby Walters, 6 home runs to pace the Braves. So 33 runs batted in, is second in that category. The 0-1, taken low. Corners of the infield playing in, anticipating a sac bunt here from Abby Walters. Savannah Melvin, the cleanup hitter, is on deck. See if the Braves try to bring Jackson onto second base and into scoring position. 1-1. Swinging away is Walters and gets it into left field on the ground. Back-to-back singles for UNCP. Now Walters on first, Jackson on second, and UNCP threatening in the first inning.
Yes, Cameron, like I said in the beginning, it looks like they're really bringing the momentum from yesterday's wins into this ballgame.
There's been something magical about the Braves playing the number 17 team in the country. Catawba was ranked at 17 for a good chunk of the season, and the Braves won 2 out of 3 against their rivals from in-state. First pitch, Melvin takes on the outside corner for a called strike. Freshman first baseman for UNCP gets the nod in the cleanup spot. .256 batting average, 19 runs batted in, 4 homers. She grounds this ball foul and falls behind 0-2. Jackson stands on second, Walters on first. No outs, or excuse me, 1 out. Here's Savannah Melvins, takes the pitch from Bates. 1-2. So Torrey Bates in the circle has given up 96 hits in 113 1/3 innings. Already the Braves way ahead of that pace in terms of hits per inning allowed by this pitcher. Owen stays alive with the foul ball, slapped to the right side. And Melvin looks over to third base, gets the call from Brittany Bennett. See if there's any kind of hit and run on here for the Braves. 1-2 pitch to Melvin, swung on, laced foul. He jumped all over that, just a little bit too far out in front. Very good at bat for freshman Savannah Melvin. She steps back in. Here's the pitch. It's low. She continues to work the count against Torrey Bates.
With 1 out, she's really sticking in there, Cameron. She's looking for her hit.
Savannah Melvin looking to come up big for UNCP. The 2-2 pitch, she grounds it to the right side, scooped up at second base by Roth. She tosses to first for the out, but both runners able to advance. So now 2 outs for UNCP. Second and third, and Tony Nelson to the plate. Hit to the outfield, now scores 2.
Now batting, catcher number 9, Tony Nelson.
Now 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position. Let's see if Tony can get the ball and hit the ground and make something happen here.
Sophomore catcher Tony Nelson, a .331 hitter. Swings through that one and misses. Well, season Nelson with 25 runs batted in. Got 42 hits, 7 of them were doubles and 2 home runs. Torrey Bates in the circle does not give up a lot of home runs. This ball grounded to second, played by Roth. The throw to first is in time, and the Braves not able to score in the first inning. They do get 2 base runners on a pair of singles, but that's it. We're through 1 inning at LRA Field, no score. Top of the second inning, it'll be Coleman, Traska, and Sterrett due up this inning for Armstrong State. They try to get their first base hit here against UNCP starter Katie Saunders. Saunders had a very good game yesterday, battled through some adversity, got the win in game 1 of yesterday's doubleheader against Flagler. Final score of 3-1. You see Coleman will start things off for the Pirates. Freshman shortstop is a .297 hitter. Taking on the first pitch as Saunders pours it in for strike 1. Coleman with 33 hits this year, 5 doubles, a triple, also 6 home runs. The freshman showed some serious pop. Grounds this ball to the left side. A diving stop by Johnson. The throw to first is in time as Melvin stretches to make the catch.
Another great play by the third baseman. Just really stretch out for that. Made the throw to first.
So Jamie Johnson wasn't able to get on base in her first at bat of this game, but making an impact on the defensive end. She's now fielded 2 balls over there. First pitch swinging, popped up behind home plate by Traska, and it's squeezed for an out by Nelson. 2 away. Tony Nelson fielding her position well. And another quick out here by the Pirates as Katie Saunders settling into a nice groove. So it's Ashley Sterrett to hit now. The senior is a .305 hitter. 32 hits, also has 12 doubles. That's a very high percentage of your hits going for extra bases. She also has 2 triples. That's almost half of her base knocks. The 1-0 from Saunders, just a bit low. Is the center fielder in today's defensive lineup for Armstrong State. 2 outs and the base is empty in the top of the second as she swings and misses the changeup. Saunders with the 2-1 offering. Misses high. Did have a 2-out walk last inning with the base empty, so similar situation, and there's another one. Last inning it was Hannah Reppert. This time, walk drawn by Ashley Sterrett. And with 2 outs, Armstrong State with another base runner as Autumn Parrish will come to the plate. Sophomore designated player Autumn Parrish is the owner of a .229 batting average. Has 25 hits, 2 doubles, and 2 home runs. High and away on the first pitch. It looked like they were thinking about pitching out to try to check on Sterrett, who is 4 or 5 on stolen base attempts this year, but she's back in standing up. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, popped up foul behind home plate and right over our heads into the parking lot. One is the count, 2 outs, a runner on first for Armstrong State in a scoreless game, top of the second inning. The pitch, just a bit low. Nelson came up ready to throw over to first. Sterrett gave her the stare back saying, I'm just 2 feet away. You could throw it down, and I will be back in safely. So no action there. 2-1 rise ball gets a little bit too high on Saunders, and now it's 3-1. Introducing back-to-back walks here. The 3-1 pitch popped up straight behind home plate and over our heads once again. Full count now to Autumn Parrish.
She's been aggressive in the beginning of the count, but she's, like I said, she has a full count on her. Let's see if she's so aggressive at the plate.
Payoff pitch skied out towards left field. If it's fair, it's gone. Oh, the wind knocks it down, and Cox able to come in and make the catch. Wow, off the bat, that looked like it was flying out of here. Goes down as a long fly ball out to left field. 2 innings, or 1.5 innings in the books. We'll go to the bottom of the second when we come back. No score yet in this one.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Bottom of the second inning at LRA Field on the campus of UNC Pembroke. With Mike Young, I'm Cameron Songer. Thank you for joining us on the Braves Broadcast Network this afternoon. Taylor Gerhardt, Bailey Jones, and Lexi Cox do up this inning for UNCP. To get things started, it will be the hero from yesterday's action, Taylor Gerhardt. Walked off in Game 2 against Flagler with a grand slam. Now, it was 4-4 in the bottom of the 7th, so they didn't need all of those runs, but a walk-off grand slam sure sounds impressive. And it was an impressive hit.
Absolutely, Cameron. And to her credit, I believe there was 2 outs during that moment as well in that 7th inning yesterday.
Gerhardt, a .326 hitter this year. That walk-off grand slam was her 6th home run of the season. Just missed getting this ball down the third base line. It's foul and strike 2. Gerhardt has 43 hits this year. 5 of them have been doubles, 1 triple, and 6 home runs. 34 runs batted in, leads the Braves. And before this next pitch, Ted Evans will come into the circle and talk with his Pirate infield. Evans is in his 12th season as the head coach of the Pirates. A real veteran of the Peach Belt Conference. Gerhardt, even when it's an 0-2 count, is a dangerous hitter, and they recognize the importance of getting the first hitter out here in the second inning. Each team has had 2 base runners so far. Pirates got theirs on a pair of walks. Braves had back-to-back singles last inning. No runs on the board yet. 0-2 pitch to Gerhardt outside. Wind now blowing pretty much straight out towards center field. Right center, Tad. Gerhardt puts this ball on a line into left center field. It gets to the wall on 1 bounce, looking for 2 as the throw comes in quickly, sliding in, and she's tagged out. Taylor Gerhardt gets gunned down on a stellar throw by Sterrett, and there's 1 away.
I don't know, Cameron. That play looked mighty close.
Brittany Bennett wanted to just get a quick word in with the umpire. Gerhardt stuck around on the base during that, and then now make her way into the dugout. So it's Bailey Jones. Scored that a hit and then thrown out on the base pass for Gerhardt. now Bailey Jones comes up to bat. Freshman with a .250 batting average. Strike one called to Bailey Jones, and well, it looked like the Braves were starting to build a little bit of momentum, and all of a sudden it's the Pirates who are the ones that are fired up. How couldn't you be on a great throw from the center fielder? Breaking ball, strike two. Another breaking pitch from Tori Bates. Bailey Jones keeping the bat on her shoulder and watching ball one get called.
Let's see here if the pitcher will give her a pitch that she's looking for.
Swing and a miss. Another nasty pitch from Tori Bates as she records her first strikeout in today's game.
Now batting left fielder, number 10,
Lexi Cox comes up to bat now for the Braves. The sophomore left fielder is hitting .198 this season. Base is empty, 2 outs. Cox with a mighty swing as she can't catch up with the heat there. For Cox on the season, 19 hits, 6 doubles, and 2 home runs. Being in the 8th spot today for the Braves, Morgan Davis is waiting on deck. Oh, 1. Just misses outside. Braves with a 1-game lead on Georgia College and Lander for 4th place in the Peach Belt Conference as the 1-1 pitch does get called strike 2. Braves 3 games back of Young Harris for 3rd place in the conference. This one fouled off. Season rapidly approaching its conclusion. The Braves will play at USC Aiken next week Friday on the road, then wrap up the regular season next Sunday against Montevallo at home. Check swing, they'll say she did go around, and that's the 3rd out of the inning for UNCP. So Taylor Gerhardt starts the inning off with a single, then she's thrown out on the base paths, and then Jones and Cox strike out to end the 2nd inning for UNCP. Top of the 3rd coming up, no score. Back at LRA Field on the campus of UNC Pembroke, the number 17 Armstrong State Pirates taking on the UNCP Braves, 2 of the hottest teams in the league, as the Braves right now with a conference best 6-game winning streak. Also includes 7 of their last 8 in a busy week here at LRA Field. Sierra Newman, the number 9 hitter, leads off for the Pirates. Takes strike 1 to start the 3rd inning. Newman in left field defensively today for Armstrong. 304 hitter. He does have 28 hits, and 5 of them have been doubles. 0-1 offering from Saunders is popped up on the left side. Johnson doesn't have to move very far and makes the catch for the out.
Now batting leadoff hitter, second baseman number 23, Peyton Roth.
Back to the top of the order for Armstrong State. It'll be Peyton Roth. Roth, a senior from Fayetteville, Georgia. First pitch from Saunders. Bunt shown, laid down, but foul. Frustrated Roth tosses the bat up in the air and then catches it as she walks back to the left-handed batter's box.
Yeah, it looks like she tried to catch the Pembroke's infield napping a little bit there, Cameron.
Roth is from Fayetteville, Georgia. Armstrong also has a player from Pembroke, Georgia, in Logan Harrell. This ball lofted to left center field. It drops in between Cox and Jackson. And on to second base, standing up, is Peyton Roth. You know, not a rocket by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a base hit and a runner in a scoring position for Armstrong St with just one out, top of the order at the plate. And Michelle Breen. Breen, a transfer from Lake Sumter State Community College. Takes low and inside for ball one. Originally from Bushnell, Florida. The senior is playing third base today for the Pirates. She's listed on their roster as a first baseman slash second baseman slash outfielder. And she popped this one up foul and out of play. Now, if you're going to list someone as a first baseman slash second baseman slash outfielder and then play them at third base in a game, at what point do you just say, she'll play any position? She's a utility player. Let's get technical and just list every position she could possibly play.
Well, I wonder if they tried her at pitcher.
They could. If she doesn't pitch, then they should just write everything but pitcher on the roster. But that would take up more space than listing all of the positions she does play. So, all about efficiency here, ladies and gentlemen. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, grounded to third. Johnson looks the runner back over to second. The throw to first is in time. And then they check on Roth again with a throw to second. She's back in safely. Michelle Breen grounds out. On comes Hannah Report.
Now batting first baseman number 12, Hannah Reppers.
Report does have first base open. She walked the first time she came up. She's one of the conference's most dangerous hitters. 13 home runs, 37 runs batted in, and a .410 average. Before Katie Saunders will deal to her, catcher Tony Nelson comes out to make sure the battery is on the same page. Rufford is a junior from Loganville, Georgia. Has a runner in scoring position, 2 outs in the top of the third. Saunders ready to work from inside the circle. She toes the rubber. The pitch is low. Nelson came up ready to throw. No one covering second base. Davis finally makes her way over there. Gives Roth plenty of time to scoot back in. The 1-0. Another low pitch. Nelson again comes up ready to throw. You wonder if there's some trickeration in the books here, in the plans for UNCP. 2-0 pitch is low again. Nelson again comes up looking to throw. And again, Roth back in. Sometimes you might see a catcher pretend to not know where the ball is to try to induce the runner to steal and then just pick her off because she had it the whole time. 3-0 pitch is low. This time, Repper will just walk on over to first. It's her second walk she's drawn today. Runners to first and second. Logan Harrell up to bat. 2 outs in a scoreless game, top of the third.
Let's see how Katie responds with 2 people on base.
First pitch to Harrell, skied out toward right field. On the run, Walters, she lays out. Does she hang on? What a catch by Abby Walters to end the inning. In foul territory, Abby Walters, the snow cone catch. We're through 2.5 in Pembroke. The Braves fired up. They'll come up to bat when we come back.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
The Braves will start at the bottom of the batting order with Morgan Davis, the 9-hitter, then back to the top with Johnson and Jackson. Here in the bottom of the third inning, coming off a sensational defensive play by Abby Walters, a diving catch in foul territory in right field to end looming Pirates' threat in the top half of this inning. They had 2 runners on base with 2 outs. First and second it was.
That's what you call backing up your pitcher there, Cameron. Great play.
Morgan Davis leads off for the Braves. The senior owns a .272 batting average. Left-handed hitter, the only left-handed bat in the lineup for the Braves today. Don't have a lot of them. Also utilizes that slap approach, so the corner of the infield needs to be on their toes. Davis swings away at this one, drops it into right field. And that's a leadoff single for Morgan Davis. Hit number 29 on the season for the senior.
Infield squeezes in, she hits it right over their head.
That would have been a tough play even if the second baseman Roth had been at regular depth. But she was kind of leaning over towards first because the first baseman Reppert was coming in. So on a bunt, the second baseman would need to cover. She was not going the right way. Amy Johnson at the plate now. She's 0 for 1, and she takes ball 1, low and in. Johnson lays down a bunt, a good one, over to first. The throw just in the nick of time to beat Johnson. It does advance Davis on to second base. 1 away after the sac bunt by Jamie Johnson. This is the situation the Braves like to operate out of. 1 out, a runner in scoring position. As they look to score the first run in this game between 2 of the top 4 teams in the Peach Bells Conference. Second place Pirates, 4th place Braves. Swinging away is Jackson. She barely gets a piece cut. Jackson 1 for 1 already today. She singled in the first. Out to Farmville, North Carolina. Senior center fielder. Grounds this one too short. It's knocked down by Coleman, but throws over to first is in time. That ball was hit so hard that Coleman knew she had enough time to scoop that up, even though she didn't field it cleanly initially. 2 away now. Abby Walters comes up to bat. She also has a hit already today. The Braves have proven they're not really afraid of Tori Bates in the circle. They're swinging away against her, making pretty good contact. 4 hits already. Less than 3 full innings. First pitch called a strike to Walters. Bates came in with just 96 hits allowed in 113 1/3 innings. Walters golfs this one to second base. It's off the glove of Roth into shallow center field. Davis able to come around to score, and the Braves go up 1-0. Abby Walters, the RBI single.
Second baseman just couldn't grab a hold of the ball. Went right past her. Made it.
It's been a very difficult play. Roth leapt up, tried to make the acrobatic catch, couldn't haul it in. And a good jump for Walter. She tries to steal second, but a better throw, and she is tagged out. Harrell guns her out to end the third inning. With the Braves do score 1 here in the third inning. We're through 3 innings at LRA Field. 1-0 UNCP. Well, if you had to guess which of these two teams was ranked number 17 in the country coming into this game, I don't know that you would necessarily say that it's Armstrong State. The Braves have looked like the better team through three. There's still obviously a lot of softball left to play in this game, and then another game to follow, but Braves out hitting Armstrong State 5-1 and leading on the scoreboard 1-0. Macy Coleman leads off for the Pirates to start the fourth inning. She'll be followed by Jane Traska and Ashley Sterrett. Macy Coleman, freshman from Hazelhurst, Georgia, part of Jeff Davis High School. She'll face UNCP starter Katie Saunders. The first pitch from Saunders is called a strike. Wind picking up to right center field. It's really blowing hard. 0-1 pitch hit to right center field in the air, and it gets to the wall in the air. Walters chases it down, rifles it into second base. The throw just a little bit offline. And in standing up with a double is Macy Coleman. You better believe that the Pirates, after falling behind to start this inning, got a pretty stern lecture from their head coach, Ted Evans, reminding them that just because you're ranked second in the conference and 17 in the nation does not mean you can come into an opponent's territory and just walk out with a guaranteed win. The Braves are much improved from last year. They went 8-16 in the Peach Belt Conference. Braves with their most wins in the league in more than 4 years as Jane Traska swings and misses at the first pitch.
Absolutely. Not only is it a home game for the Braves, but they're coming in hot, and I don't know if this is a great time for them to play the Braves here at home.
Traska squares up to bunt, gets it back up the middle. Coming in to get it is Johnson, flips over to first for an out, but Coleman will advance to third on the sac bunt. One out, a runner on third base for Armstrong here in the top of the fourth as they look for the equalizer. Ashley Sterrett comes up to bat, transfer from Herkimer County Community College by way of Accord, New York. Pirate team comes from all over the place. Sterrett looks at ball one. Sterrett from New York, Traska, the last hitters from Illinois. Those are the only two non-Georgia players. The state of Georgia obviously well represented. Armstrong State located in Savannah, Georgia. A hotbed for softball talent. The 1-1 offering. Grounded to second, it comes up on Davis. She's not able to hang on. It's an RBI base knock for Ashley Sterrett. And the game goes even 1-1. Score that one a base hit. Been a very tough play for Davis at second base. So one out, runner on first. Top of the fourth inning, we're tied 1-1, and Autumn Parrish comes up to bat. Parrish chases one up high, knocks it into left field, just barely fair, and Cox has trouble with it in left field. Throw goes into third as Parrish scoots on to second. Now runners at second and third. He will score that as hit and an error on UNCP. So that misplay by Lexi Cox in left field costs UNCP one base on two runners. Now a pinch runner for Parrish will be number 21, Emily Swafford. Freshman from Dallas. That's Dallas, Georgia. We're learning a lot about Georgia geography here. There's a Fayetteville, Georgia, a Dallas, Georgia, and also apparently a Pembroke, Georgia. This ball popped up to the left side. Johnson makes the catch in foul territory. Wasn't sure if that ball was going to stay in play or get onto the roof of the Braves dugout. Maybe Johnson makes the catch for the out. Now Sierra Newman 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to third base. Back to the top of the order, Peyton Roth, 1 for 2 in this game. First pitch high and outside to Roth, so it's 1-0. First base is open, but top of the order contains a lot of dangerous hitters. Saunders needs to be careful here. 2-0. 1 run across this inning for the Pirates. 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Saunders with the 2-0 offering. Bunt shown, goes foul. Like the Braves weren't really expecting that. Would be a pretty unorthodox play, especially with the runner on third and Sterrett not looking like she was going to go. Two-one pitch to Roth. Popped up to the left side. Gerhardt backpedals, makes the catch. There's the third out. Pirates leave 2 runners in scoring position, but they do score 1 to tie the game. We're through 3.5. 1-1 is the score.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Fun one so far. This game moves right along. Braves and Pirates locked in a heat, 1-1. 4:45 p.m. right now. So we got through 3.5 innings in just 45 minutes. It's as though the players know that the weather is not great right now and it's not going to get any better. Second game scheduled for 30 minutes after the conclusion of this first one. Roughly 6 p.m. for the start of that game. First pitch swing is Savannah Melvin, grounds it to second. Roth flips to first, 1 away. Second baseman Peyton Roth getting some infield work in today. That's the 3rd time there's been a ground ball hit her way, and she's been able to make the play. Here's Tony Nelson for UNCP, sophomore catcher from Bear Creek, North Carolina. Strike 1 called to Nelson. And blowing in now. Nelson chases one low.
With the pitcher ahead of the count, let's see how aggressive she's going to be. If she's just going to pitch around her or pitch right through her and just get this out.
Nelson, sort of 3/4 of a swing on the slow roller to second. Roth goes over to first, and there's quickly 2 outs. Now Melvin and Nelson now both 0 for 2 with ground outs to second base. That's conspicuous there. Block of 4-3 ground outs from the Braves' 4 and 5 hitters. Taylor Gerhardt at the plate. She's 1 for 1. Gerhardt, sophomore from Winfield Park, New Jersey, hits this one back up the middle. The pitcher Bates sticking her glove out, saying, "Not going to let this get to second base." Throws over to first, and the Braves go 1-2-3 in the 4th. Through 4 complete at LRA Field. 1-1 is the score. Breen, Reppert, and Harrell do up this inning for the Pirates. That's 2, 3, and 4 in one of the more dangerous offensive lineups in the Peach Belt Conference. Katie Saunders will have to continue to battle in the circle for the Braves. Keep this tied up at 1. Give her hitters another chance to pick her up. Top of the 5th inning about to get underway at LRA Field on the campus of UNC Pembroke. With Mike Young, I'm Cameron Songer. Thanks for stopping by. Braves softball doubleheader. One of the biggest games of the year at home for the Braves. Against the number 2 team in the conference right now. First pitch swinging, popped straight back and into the bleachers. That'll scatter some fans. What's ironic is I think that sitting in front of us, that they're all wearing matching sweatshirts. I think that might be a youth travel softball team. And they all screamed and got out of the way. But they didn't bring their gloves, so I don't know that they'd be prepared.
I should have brought my glove there, Cameron. I was close enough.
One hopper straight to Cox in left field as Breen hit that ball on a rope. I suppose no one would know better than how dangerous a foul softball could be than a softball team. Just at first brush, it seems kind of ironic and funny. Hannah Reppert at the plate now. She's walked both times she's come up, and now with a runner on first to start this inning, I'm not sure the Braves can actually afford to walk her right now. That might be what Tony Nelson comes out and talks to Katie Saunders about. Breen has attempted 3 steals so far this year. First pitch low and inside on Reppert. I'd be stunned if the Pirates sent Breen in this situation. With a .410 hitter at the plate. 1-0. Inside corner for a called strike.
Great pitch by the outside.
Reppert has not had many good pitches to even think about swinging at. Might have seen a total of 1 strike across her first 2 at-bats. This one in the dirt, Nelson blocks it well. They get 2 balls and 1 strike. First baseman Hannah Reppert. Reppert out of Walnut Grove High School in Loganville, Georgia. The 2-1. Low, and another nice block by Nelson. The snap throw goes over at first. Breen back in, standing up. Familiar territory here for Hannah Reppert, facing a 3-1 count. Saunders pitch. Gets past Nelson to the backstop. Turning around first. Stuck between second and third. Now back over to second is Breen. Reppert's now walked all 3 times she's come to the plate. This one coming at an inopportune time for the Braves as Logan Harrell comes to the plate. 2 runners on, no outs in the top of the 5th inning. Harrell struck out to end the first, then flew out to right field to end the 3rd. She shows a bunt, it's popped up, charging in foul territory. Johnson makes the catch. She got a great jump after the bunt was red. That's frustrating for the Pirates. Carroll can't get the job done to advance those runners. Now Macy Coleman will come up. She's 1 for 2 with the double. He scored the Pirates' only run. That was last inning. Mighty swing on the riser up high. 0-1.
With 1 out, let's see if the Braves can get this second out here at the plate there, Cameron.
0-1 offering. Just a bit inside. Ted Evans is animated over there in the third base coach's box. You can hear him all the way up here, trying to encourage his hitters. The 1-1. Strike 2 at the letters on the inside corner. Another great pitch from Katie Saunders.
With the 2-2 count, let's see how Katie will pitch this for the Braves.
The 1-2, low and inside. That makes it 2-2. stands on second, Reppert on first, Coleman at the dish for the Pirates. Oh, this one up high. She checked her swing. They won't even appeal. She was able to pull back. Three balls, two strikes, one out. Two runners aboard. Here's the pitch. Grounded, a hot shot to third. Johnson finds it, tags the bag just in the nick of time. Jamie Johnson knew she didn't necessarily have to field that cleanly. Almost lost it though for a second as it bounced off her glove. But that's a huge second out. Shane Traska comes up to bat now. Two outs. Go-ahead run standing on second base in the form of Hannah Reppert. Traska keeps the bat on her shoulder there. Ball one call. Traska's 0 for 1 in this game. She had a sack bunt her last time up. 1-0 pitch. This is low. Waiting on deck for Armstrong State. Center fielder Ashley Sterrett, who drove home the Pirates' only run last inning. 2-0 is low and inside. There's now in danger of walking the bases loaded. In a tie game, top of the 5th inning. The 3-0 offering. Getting me over right down the middle of the plate. Traska keeps the bat on her shoulder. The 3-1 pitch, grounded hard but foul. She jumped all over that pitch. Just a little bit out in front of the off-speed pitch. Full count, 2 outs. 2 runners aboard for the Pirates. Amy Saunders looking for one more good pitch this inning. Here comes the 3-2. Swung on, popped up into center field. Jackson steps back, now reads it, comes in, makes the catch, and there is the 3rd out. Pirates leave 2 runners on base in the 5th. Braves coming up to bat in the bottom of the 5th inning now. We're still tied 1-1.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Seven, 8, and 9 spots due up this inning for UNCP. Bailey Jones, then Lexi Cox and Morgan Davis. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Braves locked in a 1-1 tie with the number 17 Armstrong State Pirates. Bailey Jones leads off for the Braves. Freshman from East Davidson High School, native of Thomasville, North Carolina. Bates winds and throws. One-0 pitch. Bailey Jones could be looking at something to hit here. 2-0, swing and a miss. We apologize for the sounds of wind and the natural chatter in the ballpark. Pluses and minuses of having an open air press box. Swing and a miss there from Bailey Jones.
It is a bit chilly today, but at least the sun's out. It's beautiful outside.
Yeah, and if it's warmer outside, I mean, it looks like a gorgeous day. If it was actually as nice as it looked, we would not be complaining about the fact this is an open-air press box. Jones swings through that one and misses. She strikes out to start the Braves half of the fifth. Sometimes it's almost oppressive to be stuck in a indoor press box on a gorgeous day. You can crack the windows open. You just prefer to be outside sometimes. Today is not really one of those days. First pitch misses low and outside to Lexi Cox. Oh, check that. They called a strike. Wow. And there is the 5 p.m. alarm test at UNCP. 1-1 now to Cox. Final point on the indoor versus outdoor press box. That would have been loud even if we were indoors. You could hear that from very far away. Wind blowing right center field now, blowing out. Help a fly ball in that direction. Lexi Cox behind 1-2. Bates with the pitch, swung on, fouled off the end of the bat into the Armstrong dugout on the roll. Cox swings, grounds this one on the bounce to Bates, tosses over to first for the second out. The pitcher, again, making a nice defensive play. A little handshake going on in the circle there for the Pirates as well. Some of those handshake routines can get pretty elaborate, pretty intricate. See it especially after strikeouts. But after a nice defensive play, see it as well. Davis with the bunt. The throw to first is not in time. Morgan Davis beats out the bunt. She's now 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. That one not as well hit as her first one. She'll take it nonetheless.
Just enough to get to first base. That's all she needed.
Back to the top of the order for UNCP. It's Jamie Johnson. Johnson grounded out in the first and had a sac bunt in the third. Ball strike one. Dropped right off the table. I think Johnson could have done much with that. 0-1 for Bates, swung on, hit in the air to right field, hooking towards the foul line. It drops into the corner. Rounding the bases is Davis. She'll be trying to score the throw home. She slides in, she's safe. RBI triple, Jamie Johnson. Braves 2, Pirates 1. How about that? Braves offense coming with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they take the lead again. Whitney Jackson comes up to bat now for UNCP after the triple by Jamie Johnson. This has been such a tight, low-scoring game. Not a ton of opportunities to score runs. That honestly didn't look like much of an opportunity this inning. Morgan Davis with the bunt base hit with 2 outs. Then Jamie Johnson with the long drive to knock her in. Here's the 0-1. Jackson lines this ball foul. That ball was nicely hit by Jackson. She was just out in front. 7 hits in the game now for the Braves, just 4 for the Pirates, but the Braves have committed 2 errors. 2-1, Braves lead in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2 count. Jackson gets a little bit too much under this one, and is misplayed in right field by Traska. That'll score Johnson from third. Jackson looking for third, and she's got it standing up. Sometimes all you need to do is put the ball in play. An error in right field by Jane Traska. And the Braves go up 3-1.
That would have been a tough play to make, but like they say, you touch it, you got to catch it.
They'll score that an error for now. Some more discussion about it.
Now batting right fielder number 7, Abby Walter.
Now, if you're an Armstrong State supporter, you could argue that the wind was under that one, behind that one, and was cause for her to drop it. She did have to make a run over towards the foul line, but it was up in the air for a very long time. And one of those times where I'm just glad I'm not the official scorer. I'm of the opinion that that should have been an error. Couple of conversations taking place for Armstrong, gives the Braves a chance to talk over some things as well. Abby Walters at the plate takes strike one. Jackson's over on third, and the Braves up by 2 now. Here's the 0-1. Walters grounds it to third. It's played by Breen. The throw to first is in time. The Braves do score 2 in the inning. We'll go to the top of the 6th with the Braves leading the Pirates 3-1. We'll be right back. So the Pirates facing their largest deficit of the game. How will they respond? Ashley Sterrett, Autumn Parrish, and Sierra Newman do up this inning for Armstrong State. Top of the 6th. They're behind by 2 runs in a low-scoring affair. The Braves are the hottest team in the Peach Belt Conference. Well, both the Braves and the North Georgia Nighthawks are on a 6-game winning streak that has helped the Braves climb the standings. Flirting with the 8th spot not too long ago, now in 4th with a 1-game lead over both Georgia College and Lander in the PBC standings. Armstrong State, for now, comfortably in 2nd, 2 games back of North Georgia in the loss column, 3 games ahead of Young Harris in the loss column, so they've got some cushion there. This is a game that they probably expected to do fairly well in against UNCP, but it hasn't really been the case today. First pitch strike called to Ashley Sterrett. Sterrett pops this one back foul. Out of play. Sterrett walked her first time up and then had an RBI single in the 4th to drive home the only run of this game the Pirates have plated. No balls, 2 strikes as Katie Saunders continues dealing in the circle. Just 4 hits allowed for Saunders so far today. The 0-2 wastes one lone inside. One-two pitch. Swung on, grounded, foul. Sterrett listed on the Armstrong State roster again. I've been getting a kick out of the way they classify their players because they have some very lengthy descriptions. Sterrett listed as a third baseman / shortstop / outfielder, and she's playing center field today. So at least this time she does fit into the description. popped up to the left side. This does get over the net and into the fan area at LRA Field. Now our teammate Michelle Green, we talked about this earlier, listed as a first baseman slash second baseman slash outfielder. She's playing third base today. One-two pitch in the dirt. Sanj hasn't been able to finish off Ashley Sterrett. Swung on, popped up. This is in the field of play in foul territory behind third base. Johnson makes the catch, and there's one away in the Pirates' half of the sixth.
Now batting designated player number 7, Autumn Parrish.
Autumn Parrish now, the designated player, sophomore from Monroe, Georgia, comes up to bat. Parrish is 1 for 2 in this game. Stoppage here as the umpire grabs some new softballs. And now we're ready to go. Pitch from Saunders. Swung on, grounded to third, off the glove of Johnson. Gerhardt backs her up the throw to first in time. That's teamwork on defense, and the Braves pretty excited about how that turned out.
Now batting left fielder number 1,
Jamie Johnson couldn't handle it initially. Gerhardt was behind her, played the carom, and then got the out over at first. Seems like it's been one of those days for the Pirates. Sierra Newman at the plate, 0 for 2. Pair of pop-outs to third. Katie Saunders has induced more than her fair share of those. A lot of fly balls, lazy pop-ups hit to the third baseman. Jamie Johnson's handled those as the 1-0 just misses the outside corner.
I don't know if it's me, Cameron, but every play that looks like it has to be made by Pembroke is Jamie Johnson. She's involved in everything on defense.
Braves have made 2 errors defensively. It looks like we've got a scoring change in that ball last inning, and we thought probably should have been ruled an error. They went ahead and changed it to a hit. The Whitney Jackson fly ball in the outfield ended up scoring the Braves' third run. Two-0 count to Newman. Takes at the letters. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 6th. The Pirates down by 2 runs. Largest lead in the game for either team. Pitch, swung on, fouled off to the right side. Past Melvin over at first. And he really hit Armstrong assistant coach Megan Connor, who's acting as the first base coach when the Pirates are at bat. Head coach Ted Evans is the third base coach. Three-two pitch to Newman. Fouled straight back.
Being since it's the top of the 6th inning, I would love for the Braves to get this out at the plate since the top of the order is coming the next inning.
Payoff pitch, tipped foul. Nelson can't hang on, so that bat will go on. Here's the 3-2. Skied to the left side. Johnson in foul territory. There's another catch for Jamie Johnson in foul territory. 1-2-3, go the Pirates in the 6th. Braves with one more chance to add some more insurance to a 3-1 lead when we come back.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Middle of the Braves order coming up to the plate in the 6th inning. Savannah Melvin, then Tony Nelson, and Taylor Gerhardt. One more chance for the Braves to add to a 3-1 lead. The Braves got 2 big runs last inning. It started with all 2 outs. Morgan Davis a bunt base hit, Jamie Johnson with an RBI triple, then Whitney Jackson an RBI triple that was initially scored in error. And Abby Walters grounded out to end the inning, but the damage had been done. The Braves can try to add a little bit more. Slow roller by Melvin, hit to second, toss to first is in time, beating the running Melvin by 1 step. So Melvin, 0 for 3, all 3 of them ground outs to second base. Tony Nelson to the plate, she's 0 for 2, and they've both been ground outs to second base. You figure these pitchers kind of have a go-to way to get batters out. For Armstrong's Tori Bates, it's been the ground ball to second base. For UNCP's Katie Saunders, it's been pop flies hit to third base. There's been a lot of those hit by Armstrong State batters. Tony Nelson takes strike 1. This one popped to third base. And there's a little flip of the script there as Nelson pops out for the second out. 2 away, bases empty. Taylor Gerhardt comes up to bat. Remember, all the Braves' offense last inning came with 2 outs, so don't count them out just yet. The Braves are not able to score this inning. The Pirates would need 2 runs to keep the game alive. First pitch misses outside to Gerhardt, who is 1 for 2 at the plate today. Singled in the second, but then was thrown out as she tried to stretch that single into a double. Gerhardt grounds this ball foul. Evens up the count 1-1. Not the greatest day in the circle for Tori Bates, well below her season averages. That 1.42 ERA. Hasn't walked any, has 3 strikeouts. This one grounded foul. Bates averages better than 3 strikeouts per outing. Obviously, with the 1.42 ERA, is not used to giving up 3 runs in a start. 1-2 pitch on the way to Gerhardt. Swings, hits it back up the middle, through into center field. That one had eyes. Past the glove of Bates, past the glove of Roth. For the second inning in a row, the Braves have a 2-out single. So it brings up Bailey Jones. Nope, there's a pinch hitter. Haley Epperson comes on to pinch hit for UNCP. So Haley Epperson has 6 hits in 45 tries at the plate this year. That's a 133 batting average. 2 runs batted in, and 2 of her 6 hits have been doubles. Epperson takes ball 1. Sophomore from Summerfield, North Carolina. Gerhardt's over on first. As this one breaks into the strike zone. Better pitch from Bates this time. The 1-1. Chopped back to the pitcher. Bates takes her time on the reaction, throws to first to end the inning. We're through 6 complete at LRA Field. UNCP leads Armstrong State 3-1. Braves looking to finish off the upset when we come back. Here we go, top of the 7th inning. Armstrong State, the number 17 team in Division II softball, trails the Braves 3-1. It'll be the top of the order for the Pirates. Peyton Roth, Michelle Breen, and Hannah Reppert. These are the batters that Armstrong State coach Ted Evans wants to have at the plate. Can they get it done against UNCP's Katie Saunders? We're about to find out. Mike Young, I'm Cameron Songer. Thank you for joining us on the Braves Broadcast Network. Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Game 2 coming up about 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1, roughly 6 p.m. First pitch swinging, hit in the air. Retreating is Jackson. She reads it, makes the catch, and there's one out. Peyton Roth, 1 for 4 at the plate today. Pirates would have really liked for her to get on base.
That's a great sign to see with the top of the lineup, with the game on the line.
Michelle Breen comes up. She's 1 for 3. Singled her last time up. Lead off the 5th. Swings through that one. Might have got a piece of it as it gets past Nelson. But with no base runners, it doesn't matter. As the wind now shaking the press box here at the back of the bleachers at LRA Field. We said the gust would get up to 35 to 40 miles an hour, and the weather forecast was not joking.
Absolutely not.
This ball tattooed to left field, but it hangs up just long enough for Cox to get to it to make the catch. And the Pirates down to their last out.
Now batting first baseman number 12, Hannah River.
So it's Hannah Reppert. She's 0 for 0 with 3 walks in this game. Looks like the Braves strategy has been don't pitch to her because she's the Pirates' best hitter.
Well, with her resume, that was a great game plan. For the
First
Braves.
pitch inside corner for a called strike. So there's a couple different ideas on how to approach her here. You figure this ball hit fair to third. The throw to first in time. That's the game. The Braves win as Johnson throws to Melvin in a great defensive play. Gives the Braves the W. 3-1 is the final. UNCP upsets the number 17 Armstrong State Pirates. Braves improve to 25-21-1, 11-8 now in the Peach Belt Conference. Pirates get handed their 10th loss. They're now 13-4 overall, and that snaps the Pirates' 4-game winning streak. The Braves have now won 7 in a row. Game 2 coming up in about 30 minutes. For my broadcast partner Mike Young and our entire crew, thanks for joining us for Game 1. Remember to stick around for the second game in a little bit. Welcome back to LRA Field. It's time for game 2 of this doubleheader after the Braves took game 1 3-1. Game 2 of today's doubleheader between the UNCP Braves and the number 17 Armstrong State Pirates. As the Pirates are 29-10 overall, 13-4 in the Peach Belt Conference. Braves 25-21-1, 11-8 in the Peach Belt Conference. Defensively, the Braves look like this. It's the same defensive setup as game 1. Cox, Jackson, and Walters in the outfield. Johnson at third, Gerhardt at short, Davis at second, Melvin at first, Nelson behind the plate. Starting pitcher for the Braves in game 2 is the freshman, number 14, righty Taylor Strickland, who has 5 wins and 5 losses, a 3.50 ERA. This is her 17th start, 22nd overall appearance. She's thrown 96 innings, and opponents hitting .304 against her. With Todd Coates, I'm Cameron Songer. Thanks for joining us as the first pitch in there for a called strike to Peyton Roth, and we are underway. Strickland's next pitch to Roth is low and away. Peyton Roth, the senior, hitting .333. She's got 42 hits on the year, 4 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs.
Well, Cameron, let's see if the winning magic continues for the Braves.
One ball, 2 strikes to Peyton Roth. Strickland's pitch misses high.
You know, with this wave of emotion coming from the Braves, and they're on these 2 big wins.
Swung on, fouled off.
Coming on off these 2 big wins for the Braves, I'll be willing to bet that Coach Ted Evans is fired up down there at third base and will be even more animated this game.
Ground ball hits slowly to second. It bounces to the glove of Davis. The throw to first just in time. Peyton Roth retired for the first out of game number 2.
Third baseman number 25, Michelle Breen.
Brings up Michelle Breen, third baseman, a senior with a .276 batting average. First pitch taken high by Breen. Popped up, foul, and caught at third base by Johnson. We saw a lot of those in game 1, Todd, and that's something Katie Saunders used to a good effect, and Taylor Strickland taking a page out of her teammates' playbook.
Yes, definitely. I won't say that it's a coaching strategy, but I would definitely say that whatever the Braves have dialed up to keep balls being popped to third base would be awesome. And it also looks like as that first pitch from Strickland was a ball low, it looks like the same strategy is going to be applied here to number 12, Hannah Reppert, for the Pirates.
She drew 3 walks in that first game and then made the last out of the game. So you wonder if they were just trying to get her a little rusty. You know, you get up to the plate, not used to seeing pitches to hit, and suddenly with 2 outs in the 7th inning, wasn't able to get the job done and get on base with the bases empty and 2 outs in a 2-run game. But
Definitely.
yeah, with nobody on and 2 outs, generally the idea is probably to not let her hurt you. .406 batting average for a Reppert, and she draws the 4-pitch walk.
Well, and I think it also gets into her mindset a little bit. She was probably thinking the same thing coming up as the Pirates' best hitter, and to be challenged like that, you know, the strategy worked, and the Braves walked off the field with a 3-1 lead against the number 17 team in the country.
First pitch missing low. This is now Logan Harrell at the plate, freshman hitting .363 at the plate this season, 45 hits, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs. Not bad protection in the lineup for Reppert, but there's only so many Hannah Repperts out there. As a matter of fact, there's one. He has 13 home runs. But you know what I mean. There's only so many hitters like that in the Peach Belt Conference. Very few. Swung on and missed by Harrell, make it 1-2.
Well, and it does provide protection, but I even think like in game one where we saw the Braves allow the Pirates to get runners on base.
Strike 3 looking. Taylor Strickland gets her first strikeout to end the first inning. We'll go to the bottom of the first. Braves coming up to bat with no score in this one yet.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Bottom of the first inning as Armstrong State and UNCP locking horns for the second game of a doubleheader. Warming up for the Pirates is their junior pitcher, Jane Traska. We actually saw her play right field in game one, but Traska can also pitch. This is her 13th start of the season and her 18th overall appearance. She's got a 10-3 win-loss record and a 2.02 ERA. That's very, very good in 79 2/3 innings pitched. Opponents hitting just 193 against her. Braves were able to get to Tori Bates, the starting pitcher in game one. Let's see if they can figure out Jane Traska and pick up some early runs as well to really claim their arrival in the Peach Belt Conference. Defensive alignment for Armstrong looks like this. In the outfield, it's Stewart, Sterrett, and Gladue from left to right. Breen at third, Coleman at short, Roth at second, and Reppert at first, with Harrell behind the plate. Traska in the circle. First pitch misses inside to Jamie Johnson. Braves sophomore third baseman is hitting .367 at the plate this year.
Now, is Traska listed as a pitcher? I know Armstrong State tends to list about every position their players can play.
Can go in and double check that, but she is indeed listed as a pitcher / first baseman / outfielder.
Well, she's covering all her bases.
No, not second and third.
Oh.
This ball hit back up the middle, and Jamie Johnson leads off the Braves' first inning with a single. Johnson picking right up where she left off in the first game. Had an RBI triple in the 5th inning in game one that ended up being the decisive run in the game, and came around to score on Whitney Jackson's triple. A very busy 5th inning in game one. The Braves took a 1-1 tie, turns it into a 3-1 lead, and then held on to win by that same score. Jackson bunts it off of her own ankle. That's got to hurt.
Yep, that one kind of stung a little bit, and in this cold weather, it's going to sting a little bit more as her body warms up. If it cooled down at all in between these two games.
Over on first is Jamie Johnson. She has 24 steals in 26 tries. Another bunt, this time down the third base line. They go to second for the throw, and she's safe. Jamie Johnson is safe at second. Whitney Jackson is aboard as well. Everybody's safe. Runners on first and second for the Braves and no outs in the first. Talk about the cold weather, though, Todd. It's 57 degrees right now, and we'll get wind gusts in the high 20 to 30 mile an hour range. So it's not just cold, it's also windy.
And it's April, right?
At last I checked. Feels like it could be late February. Walters hit this ball on a line, throw over to first for the double play. Bad bounce for the Braves. So that is a 1-3 double play hit into by Abby Walters, and she hit that ball right on the dot. Just a nice defensive play by Traska.
Well, the one thing we have found out about the Pirates' defense is that their pitchers are great fielding pitchers. In the first game, the Braves hit several balls right back at the pitcher that never got past her.
Savannah Melvin now, she fouls this one off. Melvin, a freshman, comes in with a .250 batting average, 32 hits, 19 runs batted in. And of those 32 hits, 3 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs.
And I get the feeling she's due something big.
Fouls this one off to the right side.
Not as big as I was expecting.
Melvin was 0 for 3 in the first game. All of those outs coming by way of a ground out to the second baseman. So she's consistent. But the Braves would rather see her get a big base hit here. Just a bit low on the 0-2 offering from Traska.
And Melvin is showing one thing that Cameron, you and I have talked about it in yesterday's game, just the discipline at the plate, making the other pitchers work.
Swings and misses this one, the throw over to first, and that wraps up the Braves half of the first inning. Pair of hits, or excuse me, one hit for the Braves in the inning and one left on. We'll go to the top of the second, no score at LRA Field. Macy Coleman will be followed by Jane Traska, then Ashley Sterrett. That's 5, 6, and 7 due up in the Armstrong St batting order to start the second inning. Neither team able to get much going in the first. As the new pitchers for game 2, still fresh. And, you know, as a batter, you can get into that rhythm, Todd, against one pitcher, and then you have a 30-minute break, and suddenly it's a new pitcher that you're facing in a doubleheader situation like this.
Yes, and even though it's not probably a change in pitches, it's a change in release points. Just something different to look at.
Taylor Strickland delivers a first pitch strike to Macy Coleman. Coleman is a .298 hitter at this point in the season, just a freshman. Started every game for the Pirates this year. The 1-1 pitch from Strickland. Just missed the inside corner.
The one thing that has been consistent about Braves pitching, though, is that they are in and around the strike zone, and that is very, very important because they're not getting a lot of hits against it. They're getting a lot of Ks.
2-1 pitch fouled off to the right side on a nice poke out towards the right field corner by Coleman. Our umpiring crew, by the way, today for game 2. Paul Squires behind home plate and Danielle Radar over at first. This is the same crew, but just flipped from game 1, where it was Radar behind the plate and Squires in the infield. Two-two pitch from Strickland. Low and inside. Macy Coleman's really battled here in this leadoff at bat. Paul Squires was the home plate umpire yesterday for the Braves in game 2. Hard shot hit over to third. Johnson stabs it, then makes the throw to first to get the out. One away.
Johnson is a great third baseman in that hot seat, and the Pirates have done everything they could to definitely highlight that for her follow-up highlight reel at the end of this season.
This ball hit on a line into left field. Cox cuts it off, keeps it from getting past her. It'll be a one-out single for Jane Traska, who's proving she can pitch and hit. He's the starting pitcher and also batting 6th in the Armstrong batting order. You don't see that every day. That's one of the unique things about college softball. Traska has a 2.02 ERA in the circle and a 316 batting average. Those are both really good numbers. Chopper hit to third. They'll go get the lead runner at second, and that's all. So Ashley Sterrett is safe on the fielder's choice, but there's now 2 away.
And again, just Johnson showing her diversity there at third. I mean, she's flagged balls down over here in the first game by the dugout. She's put people out at third on a sharp hop to her, and now she's throwing people out at second.
Johnson has been stellar at third base defensively, also hitting .367 on the season. So we talked about a couple of players who can get it done in both directions.
Well, and that's why we're also looking, Cameron, you and I, at two of the top 4 teams in the Peach Belts Conference, which isn't an easy conference to play in to begin with.
Not at all. 0-1 pitch just misses low and outside. 3 of the top 25 teams in the country play in the Peach Belt Conference. The defending national champions, North Georgia, at number 7, they lead the conference. Armstrong State at 17 in the country, they're second place coming into today's action. And number 16, Young Harris, comes in third in the Peach Belt Conference. And then the next best team in terms of conference record is UNC Pembroke. Very nice run has been for the Braves this year. This ball hit on the line. Johnson makes the catch. That's the third out. Boy, Jamie Johnson has played great third base defense all day today. Through an inning and a half at LRA Field. No score. We'll be right back.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
Five, 6, and 7 spots due up this inning for UNCP. It'll be Tony Nelson, Taylor Gerhardt, and Haley Epperson. Starting with Tony Nelson, sophomore catcher, is a .323 hitter so far this year. She's got 42 hits and 130 at-bats. So 25 runs batted in and a pair of homers. As Jane Traska toes the rubber. First pitch had some heat on it. Nearly hit Nelson in the ankles.
Yeah, the Chatham County native was doing a little dancing there in the box to get out of the way.
Here comes the 1-0. Hit right back up the middle. Traska scoops it up, throws to first, and there's one away. Quick reflexes that looked like it was coming right between her legs. With a 5-holder. But she wasn't having it.
No.
So it brings up Taylor Gerhardt. Gerhardt owns a .333 batting average at the plate this year. She hits this ball right to first. Reppert with the quick reflex. She makes the catch. Very quickly, 2 outs. Braves have, again, in this game, much like the first game, they've hit the ball pretty well a couple times, but have had some unlucky bounces.
Well, unlucky bounces, but as we are talking about during this broadcast, there's a reason why these two teams are the top 4. With Armstrong State being in the top 2, you have to be able to play good defense and have an offense to back it up, but definitely a solid defense makes up a big part of it.
Swing and a miss by Epperson. Epperson is hitting .130 this season. This is an 0-2 count, 2 outs. Bases empty in the bottom of the second. No score yet between the Braves and Pirates. Epperson grounds this one to second. Roth charges, tosses to first, and and it's a 1-2-3. Very quick inning for the Braves in the second. 2 complete at LRA Field. Braves nothing, Pirates nothing. Back to the top of the third inning at LRA Field. No score yet between the Braves and the Armstrong State Pirates. Todd Coates, I'm Cameron Songer. Thank you for joining us today. Game 2 of the doubleheader after the Braves took Game 1 3-1. Lindsey Stewart will lead off for the Pirates. She's their number 9 hitter. Sophomore with a .222 batting average. Takes strike 1 at the knees on another good pitch from Taylor Strickland.
That drew a little bit of emotion from both the head coach, Armstrong State's head coach, Ted Evans, and their bench.
This ball hit on a line to Johnson. I'm not sure if she trapped that. She did make the throw over to first. Doesn't matter, it's an out. And more terrific defense from Jamie Johnson. Feels like we're a broken record today. Just talking about that, but she's made a handful of plays in this game after making a bunch in the first game.
Well, if there was a MVP for just Braves softball this weekend, this highlight reel would probably win it all.
Oh, 1 is the count. Back to the top of the order with Peyton Roth. Pitch grounded to Johnson over at third. The throw is on the money. Back-to-back 5-3 groundouts. We talked about how in the first game, UNCP starter Katie Saunders was relying heavily on forcing pop-ups over to third. Now it's Taylor Strickland in the circle for game 2, inducing a lot of ground balls to third. And the Braves know they can trust the defense of Jamie Johnson. Swinging, grounding foul is Michelle Breen. That one would have got past Johnston because it was in foul territory. It feels like she stopped just about everything.
I don't know that it would have gotten past her as I keep replaying it in my head. I even think Ted Evans over there, the coach at third, was just getting ready to head this way because he was thinking the inning was over.
A 1 pitch, chopped foul to the third base side. Breen from Bushnell, Florida, transferred from Lake Sumter State Community College. 0 for 1 in this game. Facing an 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Watch it go outside. Breen was 1 for 4 in the first game. This game moving right along. We're already in the top of the third inning with 2 outs. Strickland's 1-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to short this time. Gerhardt gathers, throws, and it's a 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Braves. Through 2.5 innings in Pembroke. No score between the Braves and Pirates.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. In and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
A quick game so far. Braves and Pirates have combined for just 2 hits through 2.5 innings. It'll be Lexi Cox, then Morgan Davis, then back to the top of the order with Jamie Johnson in the Braves' half of the 3rd inning. Temperatures dipped below 60 degrees. The wind continues to blow, although not quite as windy as it was earlier this afternoon. Temperature will get to about freezing overnight in the late overnight hours as Cox hits this ball off the end of the bat. It's caught in the air by Reppert at first, and there's 1 away.
You know, Cameron, as you were talking about the fact that the hitters are kind of into the game and the fielders and all, and we changed pitchers, it's almost like the game's moving so fast that the hitters haven't really had a chance to adjust to the new pitching from either side.
Morgan Davis takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Davis, a senior, a .286 hitter through 39 starts so far this year. He's got 30 hits and 105 at-bats. Ground this ball foul to the left side. Corners of the infield playing in, anticipating a bunt or kind of a slap hit from Morgan Davis. A unique slap approach, the only left-handed batter in the UNCP lineup today.
That's a bold strategy as well.
Gives her a running start to try to get up the first base line. 1-1, swing and a miss.
Almost like she wanted to slap that one and just took that step towards first base a little too early maybe, or the pitch was just a bit outside, but either way she just missed it.
Here's the 1-2, swung on, hit over the head of the left side of the infield. Slow roller down the left field line. It's a fair ball and a single for Morgan Davis. So it's the 2nd hit of the game for the Braves, just 1 so far by the Pirates. So not a bad first cycle through the batting order.
No, and that's how to take advantage of a defense that is creeped in for looking for the slap hit or the surprise bunt, to just do a little dinker right over the top.
Jamie Johnson takes this one inside. Johnson has the other hit today for the Braves. She started the 1st inning with a single, helping to improve her average, which started at .367 before this game. Johnson was 1 for 2 with an RBI triple in the 1st game. She's had quite the afternoon. The game-winning hit, some great defensive plays. She fouls this one off, and it will get into the screen, make it 2-1.
That's one Johnson's going to wish she had back, because that was right there in her wheelhouse, and she just did get underneath it.
2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on first is Davis. Jamie Johnson at the plate in a 0-0 game. Johnson gets out in front of this one, fouls it off, where she was kind of leaning there. Sophomore from Kenley, North Carolina. Again, just missing. Seems like she's really seeing the ball well.
As are all the Braves batters. They're seeing the ball well. It's just they're being a little too quick with it, or it's just good pitching, one of the two.
2-2, fouled off this time to the right side as Traska brought the heat. Trying to blow that past Johnson.
The one strategy I don't necessarily see in this game that we saw in the first is to test the catcher at all.
Johnson, ooh, that bounced off her. And they're going to call her out. Brittany Bennett wants an explanation as to why. So now the umpires need to talk this over. She's holding at her.
Looks like her right pelvis.
Yeah, her
upper thigh.
Her right leg for sure. She fouled it off, or she got a piece of it, I should say, and then went down and was sprawled out across home plate. Perhaps the umpire saying that she never actually hit the ball with her bat and that it just hit her and she swung, and that would be strike 3. But I heard bat hit ball.
I'm with you on that one, Cameron. I definitely heard the distinctive metal click of a foul ball.
And it was a foul ball. So Morgan Davis is currently standing on second base. Armstrong State now trying to plead their case. And they haven't signaled for Morgan Davis to go back to first. She's going back to first anyway.
Coach Bennett went ahead and sent her back to first.
Feels like that should have been a foul ball. Let's just do this over again. There's a lot of fussing going on for what looked like a pretty clear play when it happened. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one. So it's 2-2. Jamie Johnson will dig back in to bat.
And it's good that the umpires got together and
Johnson hit this ball on the line, back to the pitcher. It's caught and doubling off Davis over at first. And that will end the inning. Oh, wait, no, maybe it wasn't hit on a line. As Davis scampers over to third, now the umpire signaling that Davis was in fact out because she had left on contact. So that's the end of the third inning. No score yet in this game. We'll be right back. Leading off for Armstrong State in the fourth inning will be Hannah Reppert, and another interesting moment for the Braves in terms of strategy, as she didn't lead off an inning at all in the first game. They walked her the first 3 times she came up, and then she came up with 2 outs, the bases empty in the top of the 7th. They pitched to her, and she grounded out to end the game. But she came up with 2 outs her first time up in this game, and they walked her because the bases were empty. But now starting an inning, this is a case we haven't seen yet for Hannah Reppert at the plate. Obviously, the Braves have a ton of respect for what she can do with the bat in her hands. But do you intentionally put the leadoff hitter on base? We'll find out. First pitch from Strickland is a little bit outside. Now, when Saunders wanted to intentionally walk Reppert, it seemed like she just threw it short of home plate every time. That one almost looked borderline hittable. This one not so much, high and away.
no, I still think no matter if she's leading off, no matter if there's 1 runner on, no matter if there's 2 outs, I think it's still kind of the mindset to pitch around her.
That one, again, close this time, but called ball. 3-0. Reppert is hitting .406 this year. She's got 41 hits, 5 doubles, 13 home runs, and 37 runs batted in. She's pretty much the strongest bat in the Armstrong State lineup. And the Braves, again, showing the respect of what she can do and issue a 4-pitch walk.
They're kind of daring the Braves are kind of daring the Pirates to beat, for somebody else to beat them other than Reppert. We see this a lot in basketball and other sports, but not necessarily in softball.
Swung on, hit right back up the middle. An attempt by Strickland to try to knock it down. She doesn't really get much of it. Logan Harrell finally says, I'm really sick of you guys not respecting what I can do at the plate. She was 0 for 3 in the first game, struck out her first time up in this game, and finally has a base knock. First and second now, and it looks like the Pirates will pinch run for Reppert over on second base. The pinch runner is number 21, Emily Swafford. So first and second, no outs for the Pirates in the top of the fourth inning. 0-0 is the score. As through the first 3 innings, we saw a combined 3 hits for the two teams. And a pitcher's duel on a cool spring evening.
Cool
North
spring
Carolina.
evening.
Say cool, it's going to get cold. Bunt laid down over towards third. Johnson charges, tosses to first, where Davis is covering, and gets the first out. But now runners on second and third, just 1 out. Armstrong St will have the pitcher, Jane Traska, coming to the plate.
Now the strategy for the Pirates is do you take the bat out of Traska and try to squeeze, or you just let her hit away?
Traska played right field in the first game. She is a capable hitter. She singled her first time up in this game. Started the game with a .316 batting average, so she's no average pitcher. The 1-0 swung on, grounded to third. Johnson charges, throws home. Tag applied by Nelson, and that's the second out. And now, oh boy, Traska heads up base running there. She went ahead and took second. Reaching on the fielder's choice, then goes on to second base. Swafford, the pinch runner, is out at home for the second out, and Harrell advanced to third. Nelson, I think, didn't want to risk a throw to second base that would have started a pickle for Traska and probably would have allowed Harrell to try to score.
Well, and I think that shows some veteran base running out of Traska on a separate level, because she didn't just immediately take off to second, which showed her commitment, which would have made the decision easier for Nelson.
It was,
She kinda
it was a slow
slowed.
jog with her eye on the catcher the whole time, basically daring a throw because she wanted to get in a pickle that would have given enough time for Harrell to score.
That's the mark of a good baseball player, good softball player, and an excellent coach team.
Pop-up hit to the right side by Sterrett, and it's caught by Davis. And the Pirates, despite getting runners on second and third with 1 out, not able to play to run. We're through 3.5 at LRA Field. No score in this one.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year, succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
It's been a defensive struggle so far, a pitcher's duel halfway through this ball game, and we've seen a combined 4 hits and no runs. A lot of defense, no errors from either team. And the Braves will send 2, 3, and 4 to the plate this inning. Jackson, Walters, and Melvin, trying to figure out Jane Traska a little bit more. Braves have had some opportunities, but have hit into 2 double plays. Both have been from the pitcher over to first base. So some more timely hitting. The Braves have been getting some hits, and they've been getting runners aboard. They just haven't had the timely hits to really close the deal.
Well, now you're starting to see the lineup come through for the second time, and hopefully the Braves have figured out Traska a little bit through these first 3 innings.
First pitch inside on Whitney Jackson, senior from Farmville, North Carolina. Reached on a fielder's choice, her first time up. Swung on, fouled off. Oh boy, that hit her in the ankle. And she's feeling that one. It's the second straight Braves batter that has fouled a pitch off themselves, and we'll shake it up in the process. Happened to Jamie Johnson last inning. There was a lengthy discussion as to whether she should have been out or not, and she went on and hit into a double play. The 1-1. Swung on, grounded towards second. A diving stop by Roth. She's not able to get the ball out of her hands, and Whitney Jackson legs out the infield single. Now, Jackson's first at bat, you call it a fielder's choice, but she tried a sac bunt, and Armstrong went to second to try to get leadoff runner Jamie Johnson, and Jackson ended up being safe. Both runners were safe.
And Jackson didn't necessarily look altogether fast going down first base line either.
She's not the fastest player in the team to start with, and you remember that she hit a foul ball off her ankle.
And she looks, even that time, getting her secondary lead, looked like a little ginger coming off of first base, but not to worry, she's a tough player, so.
Abby Walters is at the plate. Here's the 0-1 pitch to her. It misses low and away. Walters hit into a double play her first time up on a well-hit ball back to the pitcher. He doubled off Jackson. But in the first game, Abby Walters was 2 for 3. Grounds this one back towards the pitcher. They'll get Walters over at first. So essentially a swinging sac bunt. On the ground out by Abby Walters. It advances Jackson to second. And it brings up Savannah Melvin.
And as I've already said, I believe Melvin is due, and I'm just waiting for her to break through for the Braves, and this would be a prime opportunity. Runner on second, 1 out.
Infield ready to come in case Melvin tries to lay down a bunt. She swings and misses at the first pitch. Jackson with a healthy lead off of second base after the pitch. No one goes to cover, so there's no snap throw down from Harrell behind the plate. Melvin, just a freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina. As Traska's pitch misses way high. And a wild pitch here could be very costly for the Pirates. Can deal with the runner on second, but a runner on third, it's very different psychologically. Melvin gets a piece of this, fouls it off.
Melvin, I think, played her high school baseball at Cape Fear High School, which is a very good softball program up there in Fayetteville. So
1-2 pitch. Taking strike 3, looking on the outside corner. Melvin goes down for the second time by way of the strikeout. Both of Traska's strikeouts have come at the expense of Savannah Melvin so far today. So it falls on Tony Nelson to keep this inning alive. 2 outs, a runner on second. No score in the bottom of the 4th. Runs were at a premium in the first game, a 3-1 Braves win. It's been even more so the case here. Tony Nelson out of Bear Creek, North Carolina. Righty-righty matchup. Traska's pitch. Swung on, hit foul to the right side. Evens up the count at 1-1.
Nelson at 323 is one of those people that you count on to get that, keep you constant, keep you centered, keep you balanced in your lineup. And being the catcher, that kind of gives her double duty.
1-1. Outside. You get 2 balls and a strike. That is a lot of responsibility for a sophomore. And, don't underestimate the physical toll either of catching all those double headers. This is the Braves' 5th doubleheader. Granted, all of them have been at home, but in a 7-day stretch. They played 2 on Sunday against Georgia College, and 2 on Monday against Augusta, 2 on Wednesday against Wingate, and 2 yesterday against Flagler. That's 10 games in a calendar week. 2-2 pitch to Nelson, grounded to first. Reppert reaches up, catches the ball, tags first base, and the Braves not able to score in the fourth. 4 innings in the books, still no runs on the board. We'll be right back. To be crunch time here in Pembroke. No score through the first 4 innings. And we're averaging about 11 minutes per inning. It's been a very fast game. Almost too fast, perhaps. Pirates with no runs on 2 hits and no errors. Braves with no runs on 3 hits and no errors. Armstrong State will send Parrish, Stewart, and Roth to the plate in the 5th inning. That's their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Let's start with Autumn Parrish, sophomore catcher from Monroe, Georgia, in the designated player spot here in Game 2. Taylor Strickland in the circle. The pitch, a little bit low.
You know, Cameron, I think the unique thing about how fast we played has come down to the pitching.
Parrish hits this ball on a line, but Cox is right there in left field. Didn't have to move too far. About 3 steps, makes the catch, and there's 1 away.
And I think the biggest thing for the Braves pitching, though, has been the fact that Katie Saunders, who pitched the first game, has got a amazing rise ball when as her pitch, her main pitch. Whereas Taylor Strickland really throws more of a drop ball pitch, so it's a totally different look and a totally different spin on the ball. So I think it's really kept the Pirates hitting at bay.
Lindsey Stewart at the plate. She's 0 for 1 in this game. Junior from Noonan, Georgia.
The heavy Georgia contingent of the Pirates out of Savannah.
I believe all but 3 or 4 of their players from the state of Georgia. Well, you look at up and down UNCP's lineup, and all but a small number of their players are from North Carolina. One of the exceptions is Game 1 starter Katie Saunders, who's from Laguna de Gale, California. Game 2 starting pitcher Taylor Strickland is from Hope Mills, North Carolina. Two-two, grounded down the third base line, foul. Something about pitchers here being from out of state. As Armstrong State starter here in Game 2 is Jane Traska. She's from Glen Ellen, Illinois.
Yeah, we tend to get a lot of hitting from, all teams get a lot of hitting from in-state.
Strike 3 looking. As Taylor Strickland has her 2nd strikeout of the afternoon. She fans Lindsey Stewart. There's 2 away in the Pirates' half of the 5th. Back to the top of the order for Armstrong State. It's Peyton Roth's turn to hit. He's 0 for 2 in this one after going 1 for 4 in the first game. I imagine she's due. She's a .333 hitter on the season. Swings at the first pitch and right on cue hits it into left field for a 2-out base hit.
That was some great prognosticating I've got there with my main man here in the booth.
Sometimes you can just tell.
Well, apparently I've been missing it because I've been saying Savannah Melvin's been due now since,
since the first
yesterday,
time she came up,
maybe.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you figure that the coach knows what he's doing in putting Peyton Roth in the leadoff spot. She'll go on the pitch. It's called a ball. The throw down to second, not in time. Nelson with the throw a little bit high. Gerhardt swiped the tag, and it missed. So Peyton Roth has a stolen base, her 11th steal of the season. Michelle Breen at the plate. She's 0 for 2 in this contest. She went 1 for 4 in the first game. Runner on second, 2 outs. The pitch hit in the air to the left side. That's hooking foul, and no one's going to get to it. Now 3 hits for each team in this game. No score in the top of the 5th inning. A remarkably fast-paced game between the number 17 Armstrong State Pirates and the UNCP Braves. The 1-1. Grounded foul.
Well, if she straightens that up and keeps it fair, I think Jamie Johnson adds just another out to our highlight reel from today's doubleheader.
Roth stands on second, the potential first run of the game. Strickland delivers high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Roth, I think, was thinking about perhaps trying to induce a throw there.
And she shows she has some speed. But I think Nelson, had she been on target.
Oh, this ball skied out to left field. It's high and deep, and it is gone. A 2-run home run for Michelle Breen. Her 6th of the year, and the Pirates go up 2-0. Ayla Strickland left that one up in the zone, and Michelle Breen capitalized.
Yes, and that was one of those that when it left the bat, you just knew it was on its way out, much like Gerhardt's was last night. It just was hit up high and well, and you just wondered if the wind would catch it and keep it in the field, might hit the top of the left field fence, which is higher than the rest of the field. But it easily cleared.
Hannah Reppert now comes up with 2 outs and the base is empty. She's already walked twice in this game, walked 3 times in the first game, and I think I know what the Braves are thinking about doing to her at this at-bat.
Oh.
A strike, a rare sighting for Hannah Reppert. It was a very good pitch by Strickland right on the inside corner.
I think that inside pitch, both for Saunders and for Strickland, was more of a, here, we're going to let you see it, and if it's a strike, great. If it's not, we're going to go back outside, which has been what they've usually followed that pitch up with, another outside pitch of some sort.
Here's the 2-1 to Reppert. And again, outside. She wants nothing to do with that, and for good reason. 3-1. Reppert now has drawn 32 walks this year, make it 33. And she gets the 5-pitch walk as the Braves again choose not to pitch to Armstrong State's best hitter. 2 outs, a runner on first. 2 runs already in this inning for the Pirates. And Logan Harrell comes up. He's 1 for 2 in this game. Singled her last time up. Strickland throws. It's grounded into, oh wow, I thought I was going to get past Davis, but she's able to make the play and throw her out at first. That really slowed up quickly on the infield dirt. I thought that was through. The Braves make the play, but 2-run score for the Pirates on the blast by Michelle Breen. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 2-0 Armstrong State.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
For the first time all day, Armstrong State will have a pitcher working with the lead as Jane Traska will get her warm-up tosses in before the bottom of the 5th inning. Braves down 2-0 as the Pirates try to salvage a split in this doubleheader. Braves took game 1 3-1, an upset of the number 17 team in the nation. Taylor Gerhardt to get the Braves started in inning number 5. She'll be followed by Haley Epperson and Lexi Cox. With Todd Coates, I'm Cameron Songer. Thank you for joining us for UNCP Braves softball on the Braves YouTube channel. Reminder that we'll be back here at LRA Field on Tuesday evening. UNCP softball takes on Belmont Abbey, 5 p.m. start. And then again on Sunday as the Braves host Senior Day against Montevallo, 11 a.m. start for that doubleheader.
Well, for the first time today, the Pirates are ahead, and the Braves are having to play from behind.
The Braves scored first in game 1, and the Pirates tied it, but then the Braves got 2 big runs in the bottom of the 5th. And what do you know, it's the bottom of the 5th right now. Gerhardt gets under this one into shallow left field. Stewart camps out under it, makes the catch, 1 away.
And it's not a time to get down. That would be the easy thing to do. You're playing a ranked opponent. For the Braves to just kind of sit back and go, well, they're good if she takes strike 1. Epperson takes strike 1. But, you know, you really want to go up there and still continue to battle, which is what we have seen the Braves do of late.
0-1 pitch. Epperson checks her swing. Did she go around? She did not. 1-1. Traska's next pitch. Swung on, hit in the air towards right center. It's dropping quickly, but not quickly enough. Stare it with the running catch in the gap, and there's quickly 2 outs.
Not necessarily what the Braves want to see happen, to go 1-2 like that.
Well, a couple drives into the outfield at least, but
they are putting good bat on the ball, so, you know, this bodes well for the remaining.
Lexi Cox hits this one to short, scooped up by Coleman, tossed to first, and the Braves go 1-2-3 in the 5th. 5 innings down at LRA Field. Top of the 6th coming up next with the Pirates up 2-1 or 2-0. Top of the 6th, and the Pirates used a 2-run home run last inning from Michelle Breen to get the only runs of this game right now. 2 runs on 4 hits for Armstrong State. No runs on 3 hits in this one for the Braves. These teams showing they're very evenly matched, which is good news for the Braves because the Pirates are ranked number 17 in NCAA Division II softball. Braves won game 1 3-1. Pirates looking to salvage the split. And for the Braves, I think if you told them that they were going to split these games today, if they woke up this morning and you told them you're going to win 1 out of 2 against the number 17 team, I don't think too many Braves would have been disappointed, but it feels like they're leaving something on the table.
Well, that was the Braves' first win against the Pirates since 2008. So, you know, they are emotionally up from that, but you just hope they haven't emotionally juiced themselves.
A doubleheader is taxing enough. playing a second game after an upset is another thing. And you said this is their 10th game in 7 days. So a lot of fatigue for this young Braves team as Coleman hits this ball well into center field on the ground. And it's a leadoff single for Macy Coleman, her first hit of this game, after she went 1 for 3 in the first game with a double.
Pitcher number 11, Jane Traska.
Jane Traska comes up now. She's reached both times she's come up, once on a single, once on a fielder's choice in this game. 0 for 2 in the first game. Corner infield comes in. She lays down the bunt back towards the pitcher. Charging it is Johnson. The throw to first is in time. Successful sac bunt by Jane Traska. Advances Macy Coleman on to second base. And there's one away in the Pirates' half of the 6th. Ashley Sterrett comes up now. He's 0 for 2 at the plate in this game.
She's got some words of encouragement from her head coach.
Ted Evans, not as vocal in this game as he was in game 1 from over in the third base coach's box.
A little surprising.
0-1 low and inside. Nelson comes up ready to throw, but Coleman is staying put over there on second base.
Scared of somebody that they should be challenging a little bit more with some of their pitches.
Ground ball hit past Johnson, through into left field. Cox comes up throwing. Runner Coleman will hold up at third. Now they're going to make sure that Sterrett makes her way back over to first. Oh, this is an awkward pickle right now. Strickland will make her way back into the circle. When is this going to be called a dead ball? They're trying to get the ball back to the pitcher and make the runners go back to their bases on the corners. And finally, that play has come to an end. Sterrett with the single. Coleman over to third.
And I don't know about you, Cameron, but I just went into total brain lock on trying to figure out what was the how all that was going together.
I'll tell you what. I'm glad this is a video broadcast and that there is a video stream to look at, and I didn't have to try to explain exactly what was going on there. This was not just on the radio.
Because it was back and forth and back, and people got hit, and
people think this job is, it's easy and fun. You go ahead and try to explain that play as it's happening.
I think
go ahead, rewind the video stream and watch that.
I think everybody at home
share in the comments how you would have narrated that live.
It would have been one of those where it's just easier if this had been on radio just to go, I don't know how to explain it to you, but there's a runner at first and third.
Well, I mean, basically Ashley Sterrett was trying to get into a pickle that would have allowed Coleman to score, but the Braves knew better. Ground ball hit sharply to third. Johnson throws over to first to get the out as Autumn Parrish is retired. Making her way to second is Sterrett, so after all that, the Pirates do get runners on second and third. But there's now 2 outs. 2-run lead. The number 9 hitter, Lindsey Stewart, up to the plate. She's 0 for 2 in this one. We've seen this a couple times now from Armstrong, where they'll have the runner on third and then try to get caught in a pickle between first and second as Stewart fouls this one off to the left side.
And the Pirates have shown, or excuse me, the Braves have shown great discipline with that because they have not they've not really raced themselves into a pickle. Nelson did it earlier where she didn't try to throw down to second to start that kind of play, and then that time Morgan Davis did a great job because all she did was basically ran the runner back to first and then stood there. And then it was interesting because the ball came into the circle, but Skerritt still tried to steal, so that was where it got confusing.
0-1 pitch just misses the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lindsey Stewart. 2 outs. Runners on second and third for Armstrong State. They already lead 2-0. Braves cannot really afford to allow another one here. The 1-1. Swung on, skied, foul to the left side. Stewart out in front of that one. But otherwise read it pretty well, made good contact. Shadows creeping across LRA Field. Temperature in the mid-50s and breeze about 20 miles an hour. Stewart fouls this one off to the right side and into the parking lot.
And the window watch begins. I hope you're not parked over there, Cameron.
Nope. 1-2. Outside. Stewart didn't play in that first game for Armstrong State. .222 hitter. This is just her third start of the season. She fouls this one off to the left side.
She's playing left field.
Sophomore from Noonan, Georgia. Can come up big for the Pirates with one good swing here. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. The pitch fouled off to the right side as Stewart stays alive again.
And she's a battler. And that becomes taxing not only to the hitter, but also to the pitcher. You know, after a while, it's just like, can I just blow one by?
Strickland's pitch, 2-2. Misses low and outside. And that's what happens when you foul off enough pitches. Suddenly a pitcher will miss with one. You can work the count full. She's done just that. She's worked. 3-2, 2 outs. The pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul to the left side, now to play.
Stewart's battling like she's got an ER or got an average similar to Reppert's. I mean, she's just in there swinging away and just waiting for her pitch.
On the season, Lindsey Stewart now 4 for 20 at the plate. 3-2 pitch. Misses low and inside. She draws her second walk of the season. That loads the bases. And Armstrong State is pumped up. I'll go back to the top of the order with Peyton Roth, who's 1 for 3 at the plate in this game. And this is a decisive moment in this game. In that you feel like if Roth drives home a couple more runs here, there's no coming back for the Braves. That's what it feels like, at least. The Braves escape this jam. They're in still a decent enough position. 6 outs to work with for UNCP at the plate. The pitch to Roth, tapped to the left side. Gerhardt comes up, thrown over to first, not in time. An RBI infield single for Peyton Roth. It's now 3-0 Pirates.
Yes, that could be an emotional killer for the Braves.
Took a tough bounce on Jamie Johnson over at third.
And Gerhardt right there again, much like in the first game where it caromed off of Johnson and they got the out at first, but Roth's a little bit faster.
Here's Michelle Breen. She homered her last time up, and there's another long fly out to left field. It's a grand slam for Michelle Breen. 7-0 Armstrong State. That's 6 runs batted in this game for Michelle Breen. That sound you hear is the wind being sucked out of the Brave sails. 2 home runs in the game for Michelle Breen, a 2-run shot last inning, a grand slam this inning, and it's 7-0 Pirates.
It's something to think that just one person has 6 of 7 runs for you in one game. In her last 2 at-bats.
Kind of coming out of nowhere for Michelle Breen. Came in hitting .276. Was 1 for 4 in the first game.
And only 5 home runs, which does tie her for third coming into today. Now she's got 7.
Well, what's misleading about 5 home runs is that's a good number. That would tie her for third on the Braves, but it's next to the 13 for Hannah Reppert.
You're right.
Reppert now at the plate. I'd imagine the Braves thinking about intentionally walking her yet again as the first pitch misses low and inside. It gets past Nelson, but with no runners on base. Doesn't really matter. Brittany Bender will come out and talk to her infield.
And it's one of those situations where, yeah, it's 7-0, and you've had an emotional win. You've played 10 games in 7 days. You're finally sitting back. And you know, you're finally sitting back on some things, and you know, so Bennett's probably out there just kind of telling them, hey, you're in this game. We got to finish. Let's finish strong. Let's don't quit. She's obviously leaving Taylor Strickland out there on the mound to keep pitching. And that shows a lot of confidence in the freshman. And so that's something that is big for the players. It's big for the team, is that they get to see that, hey, coach is still confident in you, even when it is 7-0 to the number 17 team in the country.
Score misleading right now, but felt like the Braves could only get out of so many jams here this afternoon against one of the best teams in the nation. Another rare strike to Hannah Repper. That one right over the middle. The 1-1. A little bit low.
Kind of like this, though. Strickland came out of that pep talk really fired up and bringing it at Reppert. That was a pitch down the middle and then a pitch inside.
2-1 offering. Swung on, grounded, foul. Reppert, you can see what she's able to do when she's allowed to swing the bat. Really punish that ball, but it was foul. Now, going back to what you're saying, love everything you're saying, Todd, about how the Braves were battling and playing tough. Devil's advocate is that if the Pirates score again here, the Braves would need to score in the bottom of the sixth to avoid getting run ruled.
Well, that a way to look at the glass half empty there.
That would be very glass half empty. But that's why I said that's the other side of the coin. 2-2 pitch was high and away. Count full to Hannah Reppert. 3-2 pitch, swung on, hit hard, foul.
And Reppert obviously realizes, hey, they're going to pitch to me now. I guess she really wants to teach the freshman a lesson if she does pitch to her. But this is one of those times that Braves Nation is really sitting back, going, "Oh, Strickland, just blow it by her just one time. Just send her back to the dugout with a K."
3-2, swung on, popped foul to the left side. Reppert battling now. Complimented Lindsey Stewart earlier this inning when she walked. Really battled, fouling off a lot of pitches. I believe you said she's battling like Reppert, like a 400 hitter. 3-2 pitch, outside. Now Hannah Reppert, 0 for 0 with 4 walks in this game.
What is that, 7 today? 7 walks.
That is 7 walks in 8 trips to the plate across 2 games this afternoon.
So I realize that's 8 trips, but it would be 0 for 1 for the day.
Logan Harrell is the 9th Pirate to come to the plate this inning. She skies a long ball foul and into the parking lot. Look out. There were some pedestrians walking by, and that ball bounced about 10 feet in front of them. They had no idea it was coming.
Nobody gave them the heads up sound.
We people in the bleachers tried to shout heads up, but they couldn't hear. It's far away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Logan Harrell. Pitch just misses low.
And Logan Harrell has made the Braves pay today whenever, in this game, when they have walked Reppert intentionally.
Pops this one up. It stays in the infield. Gerhardt under it makes the catch. The inning finally comes to a close. But the Pirates score 5 in the inning thanks to a grand slam by Michelle Breen and an RBI single by Peyton Roth. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 7-0 Armstrong State.
We often get the question, where does the money go? More than 90% of NCAA revenue supports 89 championships and more than 1,100 member schools that give $2.7 billion in scholarships each year. Look around you. There are more than 450,000 student athletes competing every year. succeeding on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Bottom line, we put our money where our mission is.
New pitcher for the Pirates, number 18, Sierra Peebles.
I hate to comment on our own announcer, but I think he mispronounced that name.
Sierra Peebles, listed on their roster as number 44, but at least with her black jersey is number 18.
And like everybody else on Armstrong State's team, she plays multiple positions, or at least they list her playing multiple positions. Pitcher, first baseman. She probably played short earlier today. We just didn't know it.
Maybe just in practice. They're still working on that. Peebles is a freshman. Will come in with a 7-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. After 5 strong innings of work from Jane Traska, kept the Braves off the scoreboard, allowed just 3 hits. At the plate for UNCP is number 9 hitter Morgan Davis. She's 1 for 1 in this game.
Well, I think we can see the Pirate strategy is they're going to get some work out of their younger pitchers here in these late innings.
Ball high and inside. It's 3-0 to Davis.
And let the freshman throw a couple of innings, maybe.
That's a called strike at the letters. Morgan Davis taking all the way on the 3-0. Yeah, Traska, not surprising to not see her go the distance. In her 12 previous starts, she had 7 complete games. 3-1 pitch from Peebles is low and outside. And Morgan Davis works her way on base with a walk to start the Braves' 6th. So chasing 7 runs, and I think the Braves' MO right now has got to be, 1 run at a time. Get that first run and then go from there.
Well, I recently was watching the women's national championship in basketball, and Syracuse was up against the juggernaut of UConn, as any women's athletic sports fan will tell you is a juggernaut. And what they said was they were wanting to play 1 quarter at a time. 4-minute increments is what they were really trying to play them at. And that's kind of where the Braves are right now, is that they just need to play 1 run here, 2 runs here. I mean, they can't get it back in 1 swing, so let's just play for 1 run.
Jamie Johnson at the plate. She's 1 for 2 in this contest. And ahead 2-0 as Sierra Peebles kind of struggled to find the strike zone here. Perhaps still getting warmed up. It is a chilly evening in Pembroke, about 53 degrees right now. This one misses high and away. Long shadows across LRA Field.
A little bit of spotty sun across second and right field.
This one dropped behind the plate by Harrell. It was ball 4. So Davis was taking that base either way. But Jamie Johnson will also get a base as it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Sierra Peebles, and now Whitney Jackson comes to the plate. Let's see what the Braves can cook up this inning. 5 spot in the top of this frame. Braves would love to match that. That would be fantastic. But first things first, Whitney Jackson will show bunt. Corner of the infield in. Jackson pulls it back, takes ball 1 as it misses.
And Peebles, as the pitcher's having some trouble finding the zone, and she's looking to the umpire to give her a little bit of help.
The 1-0, right down the middle, with the count at 1-1. Talk about the all-time history between these two teams. The Pirates lead the all-time series 35-5. The Braves with that win in Game 1. Like you said, their first win against the Pirates since 2008. Line drive foul ball. She hit that off the edge of the roof of the dugout. Karen back over towards right field. I don't think she could do that again if she tried.
And she hit
1,000
solid.
more foul balls.
No,
Might not
but
see that again.
I can tell you that there's at least one, maybe two vehicles over there that are going. Happy to see that not come over to the top.
With a vehicle that's exhaling?
Yes, the vehicle is exhaling.
Good. 1-2 pitch grounded to short. Oh, a double pump. The throw goes over to third. Heads up play by Coleman to get the lead runner. Whitney Jackson safe on the fielder's choice. Amy Johnson moves up to second. She becomes the lead runner. It's Morgan Davis out at third. One away, Abby Walters to the plate. Walters has hit both balls that she's put in play in this game back to the pitcher. And before she can hit, third baseman Breen needs to tie her shoelace.
Well, you know, when she's been rounding those bases as much as she has been today, she's probably needed to relace them a little bit and get it straight.
A big smile from Michelle Breen. What a day she's had. 6 runs batted in, 2 long balls. Obviously that grand slam last inning to break it open. Abby Walters takes there, strike one called. Pirates lead the Braves 7-0 after the Braves won the first game 3-1.
Well, and that goes back to that strategy that we talked about earlier in the game, Cameron, where they pitched around Reppert, to you know, challenge other players on the team to actually beat them. And Breen apparently decided, hey, I'll take on that challenge.
1-1 pitch. Walters fouls it back. Johnson was ready to run over to third. Very, very rare you see someone try to steal third in the softball game just because of how short the throw is from home plate to third. 1-2 count to Abby Walters. Peebles pitch outside.
Good eye. That's one of those times where you hope your batter is paying attention that your catcher is setting up that outside corner and leaves it alone.
The 2-2. Walters skies it to the right side. On the run, Gludo makes the catch in right center field, throws it back to second base. Johnson tags up and will take third. Jackson stays put over on first. 2 away, runners at the corners, and Savannah Melvin will come up to bat. Check that, we got a pinch hitter for the Braves. Instead of Savannah Melvin, it will be Sierra Shipley. This will be our first look at Sierra Shipley today. Shipley is hitting .220 this season, 9 hits in 41 at-bats. He has 1 run batted in. Shipley, the freshman, can double her career RBI total with 1 good swing here.
Gotta wonder if she feels like she's playing against some of her ex-high school teammates. Seeing the all Georgia crowd out of Armstrong State.
Here, Shipley out of Kennesaw, Georgia. Takes ball 1. Here's the pitch. Takes that right at the belt. Ends up the count 1-1. Runners at the corners, 2 away. Braves down 7-0 in the bottom of the 6th.
And apparently the Braves aren't going to try the pickle move.
Going inside, Sierra Peebles. Saw her start the inning with 2 straight walks. The Braves don't have a base hit against her this inning, but are threatening. Peebles, the 2-1 pitch. Shipley takes, strike 2 called.
That was a good pitch by the freshman out there. Shipley just did the best she could with it.
Here comes the 2-2. Swung on, hit to second. A slow roller. Roth has it, throws to first. And the threat is neutralized for UNCP in the bottom of the 6th. We'll go to the top of the 7th. It's all Pirates, 7-0. Top of the 7th inning, defensive change for UNCP as Abby Walters will move from right field into the circle, and Haley Epperson will take over in right field. Face the middle of the Armstrong St order. It'll be Macy Coleman, Jane Traska, and Ashley Sterrett. Abby Walters in the circle, 3.36 ERA. This is her 18th appearance. She's thrown 64 and 2/3 innings, and opponents hitting .258 against her. Not in line for a decision in this game. So it'll be Strickland who's in line for the loss, barring a crazy comeback by UNCP in the bottom of the 9th. First pitch high and away to Macy Coleman, who led off last inning with a single. Came around to score on the base knock by Peyton Roth. Fouls this one off to the right side. Count goes even 1-1. Abby Walters, in her 64 and 2/3 inning, has struck out 39 and walked 35.
Looks like they're trying to get some defensive adjustments straight. Shifting down the line, Epperson. And then Abby throws an inside pitch.
Skied out towards right center field. Epperson goes back. She makes the catch on the run. 1 out here in the Pirates half of the 7th. And now it was Jane Traska, the pitcher, but because she was subbed out, it will be the current pitcher. Sierra Peebles comes up to bat for the first time today.
Apparently.
And there's strike 1.
Apparently the Armstrong State pitchers are hitters.
Well, Peebles is listed also as a first baseman, the freshman from Swainsboro, Georgia. Takes there to even up the count at 1-1. 1-1. Fouled off. Going back to that last play, though, by Epperson in right field. Remember, she's coming in off the bench. I suppose out of the designated player spot. She hadn't played in the field at all. And the first ball put in play,
Goes
the
right
first time she's in the field, it's coming at her, and she has to make the play. Did a good job with it. 1-2 pitches hit shallow left field on the run. Cox can't come up with it on the dive. It falls short of her. Gerhardt is right there. And 1 at bat for Sierra Peebles and 1 base hit.
Well, and the other thing that makes Epperson's play even a little bit more, I won't call it surprising or amazing, but just something that was a little more added pressure, was the fact that they had just adjusted her closer to the line, and that ball was hit more into the power alley, so she had to race back to her right side to make that catch as well.
Pinch hitting for the Pirates now is number 14, Connor Weaver. Freshman from Blakely, Georgia. Weaver checks her swing there, did not go around, so it's 1-0.
Again, not testing Nelson, but not that I think Peebles has had many stolen bases.
High chopper in the infield, right back to Walters. The only play is at first, and it's made for the second out. On to second goes Peebles as Weaver is retired. 2 outs, and Autumn Parrish, the designated player, comes up to hit. Parrish 0 for 3 in this one. Going to break through and get 1 base hit. Hits it hard to second. Davis knocks it down, then gathers and throws. And the Pirates don't get anything to add to their lead in the 7th. Braves down by 7. Coming up to bat for the last time in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
Tony Nelson, Taylor Gerhardt, Haley Epperson due up this inning for UNCP as they trail the Armstrong State Pirates 7-0. With Todd Coates, I'm Cameron Songer. Thanks for joining us throughout this doubleheader. UNCP softball stunned the number 17 Pirates in Game 1 with a 3-1 victory. And the Pirates, well, it took them a little while to get going. We were scoreless through 4. Armstrong got 2 in the 5th and then 5 in the 6th to break this game open. A grand slam by Michelle Breen, followed up her 2-run homer in the previous inning. And if you had to pick a player of the game, it would be her.
Yeah, yes. You would have to, with that much run output in a game that in back-to-back innings, she really kind of broke it open and broke the Braves back.
Tony Nelson takes strike 1 to start the 7th inning. Braves need 7 to tie, 8 to win this inning.
It could happen. I'll be the glass half full this time.
Here's the 0-1 to Nelson. Swing and a miss.
I would really like to see the Braves just at least chisel away 1 run, maybe 2, just to be able to.
And avoid the shutout as Nelson fouls this off to the right side into the parking lot.
Avoid the shutout, also, take away the emotional letdown, because you know after the Grand Slam there was the emotional drain, because that was when their emotion finally ran out from all the highs they've had this week.
Fouled off to the right side again. Nelson threatening some cars in the parking lot here with this at bat.
So it would be good for them to end at least on a high note by being able to say, hey, we gave up runs, but guess what? We not only beat them, but we scored runs. We didn't come out of the fight.
Nelson again with a foul ball to the right side and again into the parking lot. That one had some more backspin on it, kind of hopped away from the parking lot at the end. I don't think any cars parked over there by the concession stand. The other ones, maybe. Someone's car in the danger zone. 0-2 pitch. Misses low.
The scary part is she's kind of getting closer and closer to us, lining it up like she's trying to drop it right inside of our open air booth here.
Taylor Gerhardt waiting on deck. 1-2 pitch to Nelson. Nearly hits her. It's inside.
She's got a little smile on her face. She's up there relaxed, so just put it in play.
The 2-2 pitch. Fouled it off herself. She stays alive on another tough pitch from Sierra Peebles.
She's like a host of Braves players today who have decided that apparently they need to play it off of themselves out of the batter's box.
2-2 offering. Swung on, hit back up the middle, threw into center field. Tony Nelson starts the Braves 7th with a hit. And you know what they say, when you need 7 runs in 1 inning, the best way to start it is with a leadoff single. I'm pretty sure that's an expression.
I was going to go with, you know how to eat an elephant, don't you? 1 bite at a time.
I was going to say very carefully.
Well, yeah, that's another great way, but 1 bite at a time usually works.
Pinch runner for UNCP. They'll bring on Jesse Mangum to pinch run for Tony Nelson. So it's Taylor Gerhardt, 0 for 2 in this one. Looking to break through and help spark a rally of some kind. Gerhardt was 2 for 3 at the plate in the first game.
And I don't know that the strategy will change with Mangum on first, to whether or not to try to steal second, or, as we were just talking about, eating this elephant one bite at a time. You know, you let Gerhardt just swing away and keep base runners.
Mangum is 1 of 2 on stolen base attempts this year. Now, remember, Taylor Gerhardt had the grand slam yesterday to defeat Flagler in Game 2. Hadn't seen any grand slams this season at LRA Field, and suddenly we've seen 2 in 2 days. One for the Braves and one for the opponents.
Yes, and the big thing is that, you know, Gerhardt can provide an emotional charge into this ball game with pretty much one swing, which is not impossible for the number 6 batter, but can tend to be somewhat surprising sometimes.
She's tied for the team lead with 6 home runs. She gets under this one. It stays in the infield, and Coleman will get to it and make the catch. The shortstop, just with her heels on the outfield grass, makes the catch, and there's 1 out in the Braves' half of the 7th.
And that's what she'll wish she got back.
Haley Epperson comes up to bat now. She's 0 for 2 in this one. Braves right fielder started the designated player spot, moved out to right field when right fielder Abby Walters took over in the circle. And takes for ball 1. The 1-0, high and away. Sierra Peebles working in the circle for Armstrong State, the 3rd different pitcher they've used today. Just trying to slam the door. Missed with that one, 3-0.
And her infield would just love for her to give them a pitch that they can just turn to on, because they're set up for it, playing deep and close to the center there between second and short.
That's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk issued to Haley Epperson. It's the 3rd batter walked by Sierra Peebles in this game, after she walked the first 2 hitters she faced in the 6th inning. Looks like the Braves make another pinch hit. It's number 30, KB Smith, who will be the pinch hitter for UNCP. She'll hit in Lexi Cox's spot. Smith, a freshman from Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina.
Fuquay-Varina.
A 185 hitter. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off. Almost into the Armstrong State dugout, but the net got a piece of it. 0-1. It's Epperson on first, Mangum on second. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th inning. UNCP trailing Armstrong State 7-0. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Peebles bringing the rise ball there. Smith swinging. Pirates with the 7 runs on 9 hits. Braves no runs on 4 hits. Fastball low and inside. It was dropped by Harrell, which keeps it in front of her.
And although apparently KB doesn't necessarily feel like it's cold out here with her
Yeah, look at that. No
short sleeves
no
on.
sleeves, no undershirt. Swings and misses there. She goes down swinging. That's the 2nd out for UNCP this inning. So on comes Morgan Davis, the senior who's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Will look to keep this game alive for at least one more batter. Corners of the infield come in response to Davis's slap approach. The pitch just misses. Davis was the leadoff hitter last inning.
If I remember correctly, she dropped it just over the short third base, right on the grass right in there behind them. Made him pay for being so close up on her.
And that was for her hit in the 3rd. She walked in the 6th. 1st and 2nd, 2 outs, 1-1 count.
Memory
Armstrong
fades
State
with age.
looking to close this one out. There's strike 2. Braves down to their last strike in game 2 of this doubleheader that hasn't gone their way. The 1-2 pitch swung on, fouled off to the left side.
It's good to see that the Braves are still in the fight, as I've been talking about these last couple innings, and they really haven't given up. They're still trying to chip away at this lead.
1-2, swung on, grounded to third. It's played by Breen. The throw to first in time, and this ball game is over. Final score in game 2: Armstrong State 7, UNCP 0. So the Braves and Pirates split the doubleheader. Braves record now stands at 25, 22, and 1. And they're 11 and 9 in the Peach Belt Conference. Pirates get win number 30 on the year. They're 30 and 10, 14 and 4 in the Peach Belt Conference. Our next broadcast will be Tuesday evening, April 12th, p.m. here at LRA Field when UNCP softball hosts Belmont Abbey in non-conference action, and we'll see you then. For my broadcast partner Todd Coates and our entire crew, this is Cameron Songer saying thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your night.